Good evening, Overwatch fans, and welcome back to Contenders Trials as we head on in to North America. We have got some amazing matchups for y'all tonight, starting off with Ardor versus Wisp, and then leading into Uprising Academy versus Obey Alliance. This first map between Wisp or Ardor has been one that we have seen very often before that doesn't seem to always turn out well for one of these teams here. So will Wisp just be overwhelmed by the intense feelings of Ardor, or will Ardor's victory be like finding a needle in a haystack tonight? We're about to find out. My name's Captain Jack, and I'm your play-by-play for the evening, joined by Ocean on Analyst and Juke and MI Blizzard on Production. Now, Ocean, these matches, like I said earlier, they have happened over and over again between Trials and Contenders proper, and Ardor is currently 0-3 against Wisp right now. Is there any chance that they have to be able to come back and really kind of lay a line in the sand, showing that that's not how the rest of this year is going to be against this team?
Well, of course, we've just kind of highlighted that for a little moment. So Ardor and Wisp have met 3 times already this year. Once in Contenders Trials and twice in Contenders proper. And Wisp have won all 3 times, right? And they really haven't been that close. Like, I could say that maybe the second series in Contenders was kind of closer, but not really. I don't really want to highlight those matches too much, because this time around, in this Contenders Trial season where we are currently, Ardor have looked very strong, and in particular, they have looked very strong because of their DPS duo. We will see them on screen as Waffle and Pancake, but we already know that that is Dynasty and Dove, so those 2 DPS players are going to need to be shut down if Wisp want to make it 4-0 against Ardor.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be some issues that we're having. I'm essentially looking to refer to Ardor for the rest of the evening as just Breakfast with Blake, based on their team player name compositions that we got going on today. But nevertheless, they have been showing to be a relatively dominant force this time around in Trials. Both these teams currently sitting at 3-1 with only a 3-point map differential between them. So today's match is really going to decide kind of which of these teams is the top dog going into Contenders proper.
Well, it's going to be interesting. Both of these teams are 3-1, as you previously said. Ardor lost their only game to Uprising Academy. I believe that was on Wednesday last week. They lost their only game to Uprising Academy, who are currently top of the Contenders Trials North America standings. Whereas Wiz, they had a very off day against Choose Money Crew North America. Yeah. They lost 3-0 in that series, right? They were pretty poor. But what is really awesome about Wisp is the wins that they have gotten. In particular, the game against Malice, which they won 3-2. Now, Malice 2-3 right now, you may be like, okay, they won against the 6th place team, whatever. Malice are a team that are always well set up for their opponents. You'll see that in Contenders Trials. Malice are always well set up to either, get rid of a DPS line or nullify DPS or whatever their game plan is. They have a very clear game plan, and you can see that while spectating. Wisp are a very similar team in that sort of sense. They've got IQB as their head coach, and every single time I watch Wisp play, they look pretty strong. They always look like they've got something of a game plan that extends far beyond, whatever in-game leadership skills they have. It's something that is set up before they go into match, and Wisp usually look very, very comfortable in their matchup. So this is going to be interesting because Ardor, they have a very clear strength, and that is their DPS duo. Dynasty and Dove, Waffle and Pancake, whatever you want to call them, are a very good DPS duo. So the question for me is, how has IQB set up Wisp to deal with that DPS duo? Now, they have very capable DPS players themselves, and Dugdilla in particular, or Doomed, now known as, who can maybe go head-to-head with those DPS and try and nullify their value, and then maybe let some other members on the team get some value, maybe even Vega on the main support. So that could be quite interesting. It could be interesting to see how they actually try and deal with that DPS duo.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be interesting to see. And noting back on something you were mentioning earlier, just the fact that between our 1st and 6th place going on right now is definitely a lot different than what we have seen in the EU. The maps are a lot closer. The scores between the teams are a lot closer right now. The other match that is going on tonight that unfortunately we don't get to see is the rematch of the NA Open division between North American Choose Money Crew versus Drifters. And both of these teams are sitting at 2-2 right now. And so either of those teams sitting at 4th and 5th respectfully right now are trying to make their way into Contenders proper. And based on how a lot of these matches go tonight, could decide the fate of some of these teams as to whether or not they'll move up into Contenders proper in the coming months.
Well, you bring up Contenders, but we've already talked about this matchup a little bit. So let's talk about what's at stake for these two teams. Both of these teams, 3-1, which means whoever wins this game between Wisp and Ardor books their spot in Contenders June. How is that for stakes, right? There is so much pressure on these teams to make sure they get themselves into Contenders because both of these teams were Contenders the last time around. They don't want to be seen as a sort of a yo-yo team that goes for Contenders, their Open Division, and just kind of falls flat on their face. They want to be seen as consistent Contenders teams. That is what is on the line for both of these rosters.
That's absolutely true. Our first map of the day is going to be taking us to Busan. It looks like we're finally ready and raring to go. And our first match is going to be taking us to Sanctuary. So that map is always a big issue to kind of deal with. You got the giant drum in the middle, not a lot of space to be able to coordinate around. So it's going to be up to the teams to get those picks early so that they can create some space for them to capture that objective.
Yeah, usually you'll see a poke versus poke mirror matchup here, like with either Brigitte Zenyatta or Mercy Zenyatta. Some teams like to go Wrecking Ball Diva. Looks like both of these teams want to opt for the Wrecking Ball Sigma. We're going to see a little bit of parity in the support compositions where we're going to see Mercy Zenyatta, so Anjawari is going to get a lot more resources on the Ashe. Whereas with Syrup on the Brigitte, so that's Fish Cake, if you know them as that name, they're going to be playing the Pocket Maple a lot more and get better Discord angles. So those are the differences in the compositions we're going to see between these two teams.
All right, it seems like Doomed using the Symmetra to go ahead and get the team out quickly, swapping quickly over to that Tracer to try to match the speed and aggression of Pancake on Ardor's side. And it looks like Ardor going for the full rotation around the outside of the map. Doomed and Joshua moving their way in, looking to get some picks in. Waffles falling incredibly low, but going to be able to hold things together for now. First pick, Ore coming in on to turkey bacon, egg, and cheese, but the follow-up comes in. CJ gets taken out from behind, and Waffle cleaning it up, grabbing a double kill, and the follow-up from Ardor is intense and fierce. They will send Joshua back to spawn last, and control goes to Ardor.
Yeah, you actually saw that. I think it was CJ. They got very far forward on that Zenyatta, right? And they didn't really have anyone to protect them in that angle. That's where the Brigitte comes in to get your Zenyatta into better spaces. That is exactly what is benefiting Ardor right now. It looks like the side of Wisp are going to stick on their current composition, which means their Ashe gets more resources. But look, CJ falling down early again.
Goodness gracious, those picks are coming in hot, fast, and heavy on that support line. Not getting the protection they need against the damage of Pancake and Waffle right now. 30% in climbing for Ardor as they prepare for the next attack.
Yeah, these have been very clean team fights. It looks like they know they have to get onto CJ, because look, 40% only to that Transcendence right now. Compare that to Maple, aka Renko, 91%, 50% difference in Transcendence ultimate charge. One of those critical support ultimates that could turn a fight. That's the difference right now.
Oh! The shield goes down at the inopportune time, and CJ falls. Vega soon behind as Blake gets into that back line, just beeping their way on through with the supports already down. We are going to see Wisp push back once again as Ardor continues to stranglehold the objective.
They either got a path better with their rotations, or Sokkawa's got to transport CJ around the map better, because that's 3-4 fights in a row that CJ's been the first taken down on the Wisp roster, and now there's ultimates available for Ardor. They've got the Bulb, they've got the Minefield, and both support ultimates.
Wow, Maple, just a sniper unhinged on that Zenyatta, double kill coming in on the DPS. of Wisp, but Joshua able to get a trade there with the minefield, looking to try to put it more in their favor. 10% remain as Ardor look to shut this one out as CJ falls.
I would love to see the stats of how many times CJ has died in this map, but Wisp trying to bring it back with Sokko's Gravitic Flux. Not going to happen this time around. Pancake just cleaning up this team fight, getting a nice little clip for the highlight reel. I don't think we're going to see much more of Busan Sanctuary.
Yeah, there's really nothing much that they can do. We see Joshua and Doom just trying to hold on to this objective, but it's just too little, too late. 100-0 as Ardor locks down the Sanctuary.
Yeah, that was pretty dominant, wasn't it, Jack?
Yeah, it was. I don't know if you could get any more dominant than that. And speaking of dominance, we're heading to the mecha base now. So it's time to get a little brawly, time to get a little aggressive. Both teams right now looking to utilize that double shield with the Rhine Sigma. Haven't seen that around in a little while, in a new moon, so to speak. So going to be interesting to see how they utilize that compared to the Russian brawl comps that we're so used to.
You know what? I don't really like the Sigma usually, unless it's Havana, where you are guaranteed to be getting some poke damage in. I kind of prefer the Diva to get your other DPS more angles. But here we go. Both teams sticking on the Symmetra main. No switches over to the McCree.
Yeah, that's going to be definitely interesting. I'm having a little bit of lag on my side, so I'll try to get back into the action, but it looks like the picks are violently coming in for Ardor again. The Maywall just in charge from Pancake, separating out the team of Wisp, and then just locking down this objective. They're going to go ahead and get control here shortly as Wisp tries to find a way to fight past this defense.
Honestly, Ardor have looked so clean this series. They have just been really well set up. They've been playing really aggressively, and Wisp don't really have an answer right now.
Ooh, well, their answer might just be teleporting behind the team. That's a good way to start things off. Anduari already getting up to that level 3 beam due to the Maywall, and the Ant Matrix coming out from Maple provides a little damage over distance as Doom gets the follow-up onto Turkey. That might create the space that they need. Blake going down as well, and control is already flipped. Wisp sneaking in and already grabbing the control of the objective as the picks continue to follow up. Pancake and Doomed. Pancake's not even paying attention, gets shot out, and the stagger continues to come in as Wisp end up surpassing that of Ardor.
Yeah, and Wisp get to maintain control of this choke point, and of course now walking into the Sigma, this is where you're going to experience that benefit of having the Sigma over the Diva. A little bit extra spam damage, although you can eliminate that by just walking underneath and avoiding it.
All right, the teleporter sends him straight into spawn as the Ant Matrix comes out from CJ on that high ground, trying to provide some damage in. Anduari also investing the barrier to go ahead and recontest that objective, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. Pancake sends in the Blizzard, and here comes the cleanup. Gravitic Flux in from Soko, looking to get that cleanup in, but the Immortality saves the day as we go ahead and see Ardor just go ahead and cleaning up the remaining members of Wisp, already past Wisp control point.
Yeah, they actually got the flip right at the start of the team fight. That was a really nice rotation just to avoid all the spam damage. Now, I mean, Wisp, they have a Blizzard. That's going to be the ultimate to watch out for, but also Turkey, Bacon, Egg, and Cheese has that Gravitic Flux. Those two ultimates are going to be the win conditions. How are these ultimates going to be used?
That's absolutely true. Waffle coming up on that barrier as well. Definitely could be isolating at a time like this. Wisp getting ready to pop it on out. The Gravitic Flux comes in from Turkey. Immortality saving the day for right now, but the Maywall separates out the Immortality from grabbing the value that is needed. Doom sends out the Blizzard to try to keep the team safe, but the damage may have already been done as we go ahead and see both Ryans off the side of the map. Waffle now trying to get the additional cleanup, forcing Doomed off this objective as they head into final fight territory.
Honestly, if I was Doomed, I would have jumped off the map ages ago. I don't think they're going to get a 6v6 fight now. It's going to have to be Anduari touching the point.
Anduari coming in on the Doomfist this time around, just gets frozen and melted down. Overtime ticks away, and there's just nothing that Wisp can do to get into this objective. Soko does find Waffle, but I don't think that's enough. Gets rocked out of the Gravitic Flux. Could have been the one thing that might have saved this for them, but the Blizzard is celebratory, a winter wonderland in the Mecha base as Ardor locks it down 2-0 here on Busan.
That was not what I was expecting, right? These two teams, in my opinion, are extremely close, right? I think Wisp, they've got the 3-0 advantage of Ardor this year. I do think Ardor have been the better team in this trials, and by a little bit as well. I don't think it's been that close, but Wisp, they usually are very well set up for these sorts of games, and today they really haven't showed up. They really haven't looked at all well set up for this. They were very slow, weren't able to get their Zenyatta into the fight safely on Sanctuary, and they were kind of just steamrolled the first fight on Mecha Base. They had that lovely team fight with the Symmetra Teleporter where they managed to wrap around Ardor. And I'm wondering, is that going to be the way that they do beat Ardor? They kind of surround and conquer when they play against this roster, because otherwise in the straight brawl matchup or the straight poke v poke matchup, they didn't look like they were quite up to the test.
And this is something that we continue to see from teams of this caliber anyway, right? Control, for some teams, is just a warm-up map, but, I mean, based on what we saw between Wisp and SMC earlier in this contest, I don't know. Is Wisp possibly having another off day that is going to allow Ardor to just kind of beep, sweep them right under the rug and lock down Contenders for them?
I mean, maybe. I mean, it's impossible to answer that question. The only people who can answer that question is any member of Wisp right now. They will be knowing how the mentality is, how the players are feeling. If they aren't feeling good and this is an off day, there'll be a lot of nervous energy around the Wisp players and the Wisp coaching staff right now. And someone's going to have that cool head. Someone's going to have the cool head and go, okay, we didn't win the poke versus poke. We didn't win brawl versus brawl, but we did win this team fight, where we surrounded and conquered. Their DPS didn't get any value that team fight. Let's do more of that. Someone has got to have that cool head. Otherwise, with how that map went, Wisp could be in a lot of trouble.
That's absolutely true. And it looks like our next map has already been decided. Wisp deciding to take us to Temple of Anubis for that next map. And Ardor's opted to go on to the attack first. So we're going to be swapping sides here momentarily once we get into the map, just so that y'all know. And it's going to be intriguing to see how this works out, because typically teams avoid assault on all bases for the map right after control. It's actually kind of surprising to see them want to go into assault right afterwards. So I feel it's, as you said there, Ocean, that maybe they're looking to use the Temple of Anubis as kind of a way to continue to utilize those high ground advantages, those quick corners, to kind of wrap around Ardor over and over again and use this map to their advantage to take away a victory and tie it up.
Well, I also think I like this pick because Assault, typically a little bit of a slower pace game mode of Control. And in those faster team fights, I thought the Ardor were the better team by quite a bit. And additionally, right, when your opponent has so much momentum and you take them to a slower game mode like Assault, on a map like Temple of Anubis, which is typically quite slow, you have to be quite methodical about how you approach the chokes on this map. I think Wisp want to slow this game down. And Ardor, they fought right back. As we saw the broadcast on, I think Ardor, they fought right back. I like the decision from Ardor to attack. They've got the momentum right now. And I feel like they have to continue that momentum. Otherwise, they might just, get stopped on their defense. I feel like I like this pick from Ardor. Nothing much more to say on it.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be interesting to see what they come out with, because it looks like Wisp is opting for the double shield and they're just going to go all sorts of damage, and Doomed, at least from what I hear from the chat, is absolutely cracked on that Echo and is looking to bring them out for this fight. But looking at what Ardor's messing around with is quite interesting.
Yeah, we're going to see Ardor I'm unsure about the double shield on the offense from Ardor. But the defense is kind of your standard stereotypical defense on Temple of Anubis. 2 poke base DPS with a Mercy Pocket Baptiste to keep the 2 tanks up. Pretty bunkery. And the offense, pretty bunkery as well. And similar compositions for both sides. Again, the Brigitte over the Mercy preferred for Ardor.
All right. It seems that we already see Ardor moving their way into this side room. It looks like everybody able to get in successfully as Doom trying to find Pancake as they go ahead and make their way back from spawn. Already Turkey on that high ground, and Doomed finds Syrup in the back line. Dry Pancakes for the side of Ardor as they make their way back into that side room. And if they're not careful, Wisp may just get aggressive and find a couple of additional picks to stagger them out more.
No, see, this is the difference of the Mercy versus Brigitte matchup in this scenario, in this poke competition, because now we've got the Echoes involved, and your Mercy is a little bit more mobile, can move around with your Echo. This is a little bit different.
Ooh, Soko ends up finding Syrup once again, but the Ant Matrix coming out from Maple there on the high ground is going to allow them to take control of that area. But already the duplicate in the backline from Doomed ends up coming out, trying to utilize that double Orisa to push them back into that side room. Supercharger already online, but it's looking like it's not even gonna be needed somehow. Joshua and CJ still continuing to hold strong on that high ground despite the dive in from Pancake. And it looks like that's gonna be a cleanup from Ardor once again as Wisp get reset up on the high ground.
Yeah, Wisp wanted to push that a little bit further, but they weren't able to. They might be able to do that soon. They've got the Gravitic Flux, and they've got another pick on the Turkey Bacon, Egg, and Cheese.
All right, we see the duplicate Sigma coming out for Pancake as Waffle zoning out with that Deadeye Gravitic Flux coming out, ends up finding CJ and doesn't even need the slam. Takes him out before they touch the ground, but the res comes in from Vega. Not going to have that available for the rest of the fight, and that Amp Matrix allows Doom, Joshua, and Anduari to just clean it up in return. They're not going to give a tick away of this objective as Maple tries their dangdest to get out of that side room.
Both of these teams are very, very, very stubborn with their man support picks. Right? Syrup's been struggling. Like you can tell you they're struggling because they're 75% to a rally. We're 2.5 minutes in. You should have that ultimate by now. They have to walk to the point and deal with this Bob.
All right, the Bob comes out, finds Syrup immediately. Do not pass go, do not pass the choke, or get $200. Blake does end up taking him out though, and that immortality field, and absolutely massive Gravitic Flux comes in from Turkey Bacon, Egg, and Cheese, and the cleanup comes in fierce from Pancake. They get paid in return by Doomed, but that's going to be objective alpha for the side of Ardor, adding 3 minutes back to the clock.
That is what you get when you have a player like Pancake on your team. Yes, great Gravitic Flux, great Supercharger, whatever, but you need that sort of support to finish up those kills, and that happened in the blink of an eye. Pancake, brilliant kills to clean up that fight. So, next team fight, Ardor 9 have a little bit of momentum, however Wisp have looked very strong and have some ultimates and some respawn advantage.
Wisp trying to close the doors now to prevent Breakfast with Blake moving into this objective, but they're going to go ahead and get that flank on already. We see Cheese getting amped on up, almost up to that 800 max cap for the shields. It looks like they're going to allow their cooldowns to rest before they engage in this fight. And there they go. Amp Matrix coming out to lead the day. Double amps trading out right now, and the bongos get fed in as well. As we see the high noon coming up, Waffle finds CJ but gets doomed down by Doomed. That's going to be enough for them to continue to lock down this objective, cleaning all of Ardor back off and sending them into the spawn.
I love this so much more from us. They look so much more like their normal selves here. I think they've played the mid support matchup better than they did on Sanctuary, and I think, roles have kind of reversed from previously, where they were the ones previously playing the mid support matchup quite poor in that previous aforementioned map of Boost on Sanctuary. But I also like this adjustment from Ardor. They've decided, you know what? It's not been working out. It's time to go straight rush, baby. Sombra Reaper, they're going to be hyper aggressive here, not just to get in the faces of Wisp, but also to get their ultimates up.
Anduari just barely able to get the Bob out before getting taken down by Blake as the dive comes in. The cleanup is fierce and retaliatory from Wisp, though, not laying anyone get away. Minute 50 remains on the clock as Ardor tries to figure out what they'll do next.
I think what Ardor needs to do is they need to try and build up that EMP, so maybe have one more team fight where they kind of just build EMP and poke around for a little bit. And yeah, also, Wisp need to change it up as well. They cannot run that double shield composition anymore into that composition of that rush composition, right? They have to make changes. I like the McCree change in particular. You can like stun up the Reaper, the Sombra to stop up the EMP charge. That McCree pick is vital right now.
All right. We see them rotating around the right side once again. Waffle already 70% up to that EMP, and Maple looking to possibly lead in with that Coalescence if they can get it up and online. Waffle is ready and raring to go to try to get CJ out of this fight as quickly as they possibly can. Pancake's going to teleport over there to help them out, and there it goes. Able to take CJ right on out of that fight, but gets traded due to Anduari and that flashbang. Pulse Bomb comes in from Doomed, finds Blake on the objective, making it a 4v5 fight. There's nothing that they can do if Wisp wants a fight on this objective one last time. They got to pull back quick and head back to spawn with the rest of the team.
Yeah, and looking at this, 34 seconds? Yeah, you would say it's pretty doom and gloom, especially if Wisp got to pick now. This might be over here. This offense looking very bleak for Ardor. Just suddenly. They will have an EMP, though.
Remember in the intro when I talked about that needle in the haystack? That's exactly what we are seeing from Wisp right now. They are the needle poking at Ardor, not going to allow them to get into this objective. No way, no how. But Waffle just sitting here on the high ground, ready to pop that EMP. Comes in with the quad. The Deadeye looking to retaliate as the beat gets fed in as well. Ends up holding the entire team together, except for CJ though. CJ didn't get the beat, and that Primal is going to make them pay. Waffle able to get the follow-up. It's a 3v3 on the objective right now. Cleared out as we go ahead and see them try to feed their way back in. Joshua getting hacked out of the charge as Pancake comes in with a Blossom that just gets eaten up and demolished. First tick, second tick as we go ahead and see them continue to hold on to Ari, putting the team on their back, saying, I will not, could not allow you to take this. The breakfast team will not hold this objective from us. And that sleep coming in, allowing Maple not to be able to hold on to that objective, or at least get to the objective to heal the team. That'll clear it out. 82% on objective Bravo for Ardor as they head onto the defense.
Very well played for Wisp. That was 10 times better. Now, I want to go back to that comparison of Brisson Sanctuary and Temple of Anubis, right? Because we saw the Brigitte Zenyatta composition work much better than the Mercy Zenyatta composition. Both teams stuck to that main support, the main support hero they played previously, right? Mm-hmm. I was criticizing Vega not playing the Brigitte on Sanctuary, and then now I'm, talking about, a really good pick in the Mercy here on Anubis. And that could be confusing for some viewers, but on Sanctuary, the compositions have completely different goals. The Mercy here is going to be sitting, giving that DPS extra damage, and plus you have the Echo to have a little bit more extra mobility. You can get more involved in the team fights. I feel like that's nice. And Brigitte on Sanctuary had a different role of getting the Zenyatta into the team fight. And you saw Syrup, is paired with Maple and the Baptiste. Didn't really have anyone else to kind of transport into a team fight. No DPS really to pocket. Yeah, Brigitte does have some nice synergy with Echo, right? Because you could armor pack an Echo and they can play a little bit more aggressive. But if you're a Mercy here, you can go with them and have a little bit more mobility yourself. We saw Syrup getting caught out a couple of times, and then that led to them having a couple of staggered out attempts at point A. So there's the kind of contrast between the main support picks right now. It's working out a little bit better for Ardor on this map. Sorry, Wisp on this map.
Well, we will definitely see if they can hold that together, because Syrup is still opting to stick onto that Brig. Didn't work out well on the attack, but they don't have to worry so much about moving quickly when it comes to the defense. Everybody's just going to be a ball of damage rotating around this high ground, which might allow them a little bit more flexibility for that Brig to get aggressive. We're seeing the dive trying to come in, but no matter what, Blake and Turkey are just continuing to push them off this high ground with the Hulk or the accretion, and already Maple falling incredibly low, having to invest the immortality field just to keep themselves alive. And now Pancake trying to battle it out with Doom there in the back line. We already see the Nano going in onto Jishua, pushing them into that back room, and onto Ari finds Pancake in the sky as Jishua aggresses. Already the point is being captured, and Ardor have to find a way to make it back to that objective, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. They're just going to continue to get those picks on the high ground now that the objective is cleared. Primal Rage coming out from Jishua, trying to create some space for them to bring it back as Vega brings the res back into the action. Soko, though, getting taken out of the mech there on the high ground, looking to see if they can get the cleanup and get that mech back into the action, but Pancake not going to allow that to happen. Flattened. We will see Wisp head back to spawn, and a minute and a half shaved off that time bank.
You know what? I actually think Wisp hurt themselves a little bit by actually having a pretty okay team fight, but not a bad one, because it meant that they were still holding on to a team fight that wasn't really ideal for them, and that meant that they lost a lot of time.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're continuing to feed into this. Waffle does find Vega there in the backline, so they're already down a support, but Jishua finds Syrup and Maple in the side room. No Canadian supports here on the objective for the side of Ardor, and it's going to be up to them to try to hold everything together. The duplicates come out as Doom coming in on that Orisa, whereas Pancake takes on the Diva. The bomb finds nothing, and there's nothing that they can do. The cleanup comes in fierce. Minute 30 on the clock as Objective Alpha's captured, and they start making their way into Bravo with a vengeance.
Yeah, now West could be a little bit more settled in this matchup. That first play of Anubis can always be a little bit tricky, even if you have your win conditions set. Now they have a even clearer win condition. Claim point B of Temple of Anubis in 4 minutes, right? They've got a self-destruct to maybe get some of the ultimates of Ardor out, because they have a lot of them right now. A stern ultimate advantage for Ardor, and they're making use of it. Doom's already down.
Bongo's coming out now for Blake, trying to aggress back against Wisp and shave some time off of that bank, with Pancake and Maple just absolutely melting the competition. Blake getting the Halt in spawn to pull them out of the healing to stagger Soko just a little bit more. That's going to shave some more time off this bank as they prepare for the next attack.
At first glance, it looks like a good fight for Wisp because you got rid of the Supercharger and the Pulse Bomb, but look at the ultimate cycle. They're going to have 4 ultimates again on the defense, plus a respawn advantage. Still not an ideal team fight for Wisp. That is not good, because if the ultimate cycle continues in this way for the defense, it's going to be very difficult for them to capture.
I mean, at the end of the day, the goal is to try to get those supports down once again. They did it once, they can do it again. The Primal now coming out for Jishua, and that monkey is angry. Syrup ends up falling, as well as Turkey, and that might create the space that they need to be able to take this objective. 3 minutes remaining on the clock as Blake tries to move their way back in. Bob invested now, but I think just got pushed off the objective by Soko, able to create some space for them to continue to work. Turkey now back in the fight to try to hold everything together, able to suck up some of the damage, but not able to get the healing that they need to be able to hold everything together. The trade comes in between Waffle and Vega as Pancake falls incredibly low onto Ari, ends up finding them in their back line, and now we're seeing Blake out on the Wrecking Ball, trying to feed their way in and hold this objective in their favor. Maple does find Soko on the side after the DMAC, but Jishua gets the trade. The main heal's out of the objective, and Doom's getting ready to come up on that duplicate as we see Pancake feeding back in on the Doomfist. Gets eliminated and melted down by the Echo. There's just nothing they can do. Dead, done, and dusted seems to be every member of Ardor as we see the Ant Matrix coming out, allowing Maple to get that follow-up onto Jishua, and just barely saving the objective from that second tick.
Honestly, this is fine for West. Yeah, you lost a very long fight. Yes, you lost a lot of time. But going into that fight, there was a clear advantage for Ardor. And now going into this fight, you're going to have a duplicate, you're going to have a nano-boosted Winston who will have Primal Rage play a little bit more aggressively, and your opponents have had to make so many swaps. They've had to make so many swaps from that last all fight, so they have no ultimates of their own. So this is Wisp's time to shine.
All right, we're getting ready to see if Wisp can create that space once again. They got the ultimates that they need to pull it off, and Joshua is going to go ahead and lead in with the Nano. Even though they already have Primal online, they find Maple on that Zenyatta. That's going to take out a lot of damage dealing for them, and they're going to find Turkey in the side room. Soko melting down on the objective, but Waffle gets stunned out, misses the pulse bomb stick that they were looking for, but it looks to be, regardless, enough for them to push Wisp back once again. Waffle continuing to poke at the back line, and that's 45 seconds remaining on the clock for Wisp.
Yeah, honestly, they should have won that team fight. They have a duplicate. That's their only win condition.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be much more that they can do to be able to hold this all together. Blake continuing to boop them back. It gets stunned and is melted down by Onduari. The duplicate gets melted down as well. The rally now invested from Vega as they try to push into the objective. Turkey alone on the side route, on the side, just getting flailed right now. There's nothing they can do. Vega is on a tirade as Soko is just absolutely charged out of their mind, just gonna beam down anyone and everyone that touches this objective. The target focus is on point, and Wisp second tick now, only just shy of that final advantage as Pancake gets melted out of the duplicate. They're trying to hold it all together. Maple coming in with a clutch transcendence. CJ has to have that anti online to try to prevent that healing from coming in, but I don't think it's there. They're getting pushed off the objective, but it might be just enough for them to be able to push back in as Onduari is already halfway back to that Bob. Alright, the slam, gets interrupted. Onduari on this high ground, just an absolute menace as the rest of the team tries to hold together. Maple putting the team on their back once again, gets the double kill. Pancake now back in the fight, just barely able to hold it all together, but Joshua gets the Nano to be able to provide some additional damage to try to hold on, but Waffle is back in the fight, melts him down, and in a fervor, Ardor take it back from the jaws of defeat, sending us into halftime 2-0 on Temple of Anubis.
Wisp will be absolutely gutted with that. They will be absolutely gutted. And the reason they will be absolutely gutted is they had the better defensive round. Really, they played better. They had the ideal opportunities to take them up. They should have taken them up, and they just didn't get it across the line. The problem is now they're down 2-0. And Ardor need one more map to secure their spot in the next Contenders season.
Yeah, this is just absolutely insane right now, Ocean. It was just so close. Wisp had everything that they needed to be able to take that map, but the feed just was too strong. They had the target focus at the beginning. Joshua able to get those first initial picks, but then it just kind of all fell apart. One of the big ones that I saw was Pancake. Pancake was... like, you could blow on Pancake, and Pancake would have been back in spawn, but was able to retreat because Onduari couldn't get to them in time before they were able to get to the Mega Health Pack. It's very crucial moments and target focus like that is going to make Wisp hurt right now as we head into halftime. But don't you worry, folks. We're going to have more amazing Contenders Trials action coming up, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few moments. Welcome back, folks. Sorry about all that craziness. As you can see, we've had to change a couple of things up here in the Contenders Trials broadcast. Actually, we're bringing in a new caster here. Ocean was having some technical difficulties. Now we got our good old Chef Billy. How's it going, Billy?
Yay, I'm here again. So yay! I'm here for it, ready to get some bonus casting in here, seeing Wisp and Ardor. Wisp, because of them the other day, Joshua and Doom putting on a pretty darn good performance, and Anduari stealing the Trials Contenders North America scenes hearts with that Hanzo play on King's Row to wrap it up 3-1. That was a hell of a series. So looking at Ardor, though, I haven't had a chance to cast him yet. However, Blake's Bed and Breakfast is absolutely in full occupancy right now. Waffle and Pancake have been putting on some pretty good performances. They've really swapped up what they brought to the last trial scene, and they're really hammering on all cylinders right now. So I'm definitely excited to see these two go up against each other. Wisp, this is moving day for them as well. Yep. They have to really make sure that they're getting, at least a close result, even if they don't take the win today. I think that if they get, maybe a 1 or a 2 map differential here, it really sets them up for their last day of competition.
Yeah, and that's something that they're struggling with right now, because it's going to be between them and SMC, who's facing off against Drifters right now, to determine kind of who of those three are going to be locked in for those final 2 spots in Contenders. Because right now, Ardor is on the fast track to lock themselves in due to everybody at the top currently being 3-1 right now. But I don't know. Wisp is having such a hard time. We just saw on Temple of Anubis, they had such a hard time locking down that last victory on second point, just barely able to get it there, but just couldn't get the picks that they needed. And now we're going to be heading into Dorado for our next map. And we've been seeing Wisp kind of toying around with this dive and double bubble composition, which we know is pretty prevalent here in the North American region. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works out against kind of the coordination that we've seen against Ardor so far tonight.
I mean, if Anduari whips out the Ashe, though, it could spell a lot of doom for them, especially if you're going to see CJ or Vega go over to the Mercy pocket. We didn't see a lot of that go on in their previous series. However, Doom was farming up duplicates very quickly the last time that I saw them on the Echo. So if they run the Echo Ashe DPS line coming out the gate for them, I think this is going to really hold them in good stead. However, looking at Blake and Turkey Bacon and Eggs, I've seen the double shield variation come out from them a couple of times. I've also seen them run the double bubble. It really depends on how they want to address what they see from Wisp. And Wisp, their backs are against it right now. They're facing series point right now, and they've got to really be able to step up and take it to Ardor right now. And looking at what we're seeing from them, Blake has one of the better wrecking balls here in North America. You really want to see if they can, bring the aggression, be able to take that space and get the disruption in the back line, because CJ will farm Nano so fast based upon the damage that is coming in. I've seen it happen across the entirety of the North American trials. And Vega might be able to deal with Blake with that Brigitte, should they be able to get the shield bash or the flails, to kind of deny that aggression coming in from them.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see what is coming out. As you can see, the sides have flipped once again. Ardor taking the defense this time around. And Billy, I hope you're hungry, because we getting some pulled pork, baby.
I'm always ready for this. I'm always ready for this. And that's a really smart and early strat that comes out, trying to see if you can pull somebody above the shielding, get the hook in there, and get a quick assassination. Then you go back to what is tried and true here. Joshua and Soko are really going to have to try and buy a lot of space here for the side of Wisp and Anduari. I'd really like to see the Hanzo or the Ashe come out here. Being able to throw that dynamite in and getting a lot of that spam damage might help them aggress a lot further than what they could do with the Tracer.
Anduari going deep into the back line of Ardor as they go ahead and start making their way onto the high ground with the rest of Wisp. Doom falling low, but able to get those health packs as the payload continues to move its way forward. We've been seeing a lot of issues here on Dorado for this first point choke. Let's see if Wisp can be able to lock this down. Ardor's Pancake moving into that backline, trying to find Doomed, but gets chased down by Soko. We'll go ahead and combo that elimination, and the Nano is already in onto Jishua. Gonna start cleaning it up, just zapping every single person with that beautiful old tickle gun. And that payload's moving fervently into Objective Alpha.
Yeah, I mean, that's a beautiful use of the Nano. Like I said, CJ farms this up so fast, and the real key for us right now is watching Vega versus Pancake. Can Vega stop the aggression coming in from not only Blake on the Wrecking Ball, but also Pancake on the Tracer, because Tracer, as you see, is giving them fits right now, getting into the back line, taking care of the flankers on the side. So that's the duty of Vega right now. Good, I mean, damage boosted beauty coming out from Waffle there. That's a quick way to stop the aggression coming in there, Captain Jack.
Yeah, that's pretty much all it takes right there. We already see Wisp pulling back, but spawn doors right there, so it's not going to take long for Doom to get back into the action. We see a lot of ultimates getting ready to come online as Waffle already sending in the Bob. Blake with the slam, looking to create some space for Ardor to get back onto this objective. And Pancake cleaning it up, serving up Wisp on a silver platter, grabs the triple kill. And it is dead, done, and dusted as the payload stuck at 23 meters.
Yeah, I mean, look at the ultimate economy, though, for Ardor as well. I mean, they only invested the two into that fight just to secure it out. It's a kind of a blessing, though, for Wisp. They can go in there and start to cleave out with the Nano Primal Rage, and then Rally can beef them up. They might be able to withstand a lot of this going on.
Gravitic Flux on the high ground there from Turkey seemed interesting, but nevertheless gets tickled to death by Jishua. That payload's gonna start moving its way around the corner, and Waffle is getting chased down. That monkey ain't playing around as they go ahead and make their way into Objective Bravo with a good time bank in the pocket.
Yeah, and look at the ultimate economy has now flipped completely in favor of Wisp. They're winning the fights in the neutral right now. Rez does come up. However, there's the stuns once again coming through from Vega. I think right now that if they pop the rally and really get the members beefed up, that's going to get them into point C and really be able to push this danger on top of Ardor.
All right, Doom opting for the duplicate Tracer, tosses in the Pulse Bomb, trying to see if they can find Syrup, get some help from Anduari. When you got one Tracer, it's bad enough, but two, Team Rocket it, prepare for trouble, make it double. As they go ahead and make their way into Objective Bravo, locking down a 4-minute time bank as they head inside.
I mean, and Vegas still hasn't popped the rally yet, so they have that to lean back on as well. They went on solely on the Nano, on the Jishua, and then Doom getting the duplicate. That is basically all that they used in there. They did put out the natural pulse bomb from Anduari, but I mean, you've got this Vega rally ready to go. There's the self-destruct coming in from Soko, no joy there. But now it just creates even more space.
Oh, Waffle is able to get the trade, but Jishua is a monkey locked in a room with Ardor right now, and it doesn't look like they're fans of it. They're going to get sent back to spawn, but with 3:30 on the clock...
Oh, no.
That's probably the most interesting dynamite I've seen today.
Yeah, I mean, Bob will win them a fight here. And really just stop the aggression coming in, but it's still being pushed forward. Doom swapping over to the soldiers. So now you're going to be putting this biotic field out to get just a little bit of extra spot healing as well.
Ooh, Blake does find Vega in the back line, so that rally is not going to be available, and it looks like they're going to take this time to get a little bit of a breather. Still got 3 minutes on the clock, and going to go ahead and wait to get their teammate back in the fight.
Yeah, I mean, they've had a little bit of ult charge there to Waffle, and not that bad. Anduari deciding that McCree is going to be the better choice here. So now we're looking at trying to take care of Pancake coming in with the flashbang, also with Blake as well. Transcendence online. Pancake could land a stick here and just completely deny this entire push.
Let's see if they can. Soko's already on the prowl, looking to try to keep them from getting in. Oh, CJ! The pulse bomb is indeed sticky, and that is the cleanup right there. The trades come in from Vega and Anduari, but that's not going to be enough to turn this fight in their favor as they head back to spawn once again.
Yep, and I mean, ultimate economy. Here we go again. We've done the flippy-floppy going back and forth between these two. I mean, Transcendence is going to hold you in this fight. You're almost 120 seconds here, Jack, and I tell you what, Mines thrown strategically here blocks up the choke, denies them the cart. They're going to have the path around it. It's going to waste more time. I think if you throw in CJ's Nano on top of Joshua and get the work in, Doomed has got to watch his head.
Oh! Oh! Blake was coming in from behind with the minefield, but ends up just getting slept out. Not able to get it in the position they were hoping for, but it doesn't matter. Nano going in onto Anduari, trying to continue to create some space, and it just seems to be trade for trade right now on this objective. The minefield does eventually come out, but I don't think it's enough for them to hold it together. Maple is indeed being sweet and sour right now with that double kill, locking down this point once again.
And Waffle gets another bob into the boot. However, Anduari with a Deadeye, I mean, mainly used to zone. Let's see what Doom can do on the Tracer. Already has worked themselves up to a pulse bomb. There's a quick recall, though.
That's not a great way to start things off. Bob invested from Waffle to create some space for them to move in with. Turkey does find Anduari to go ahead and get things started off, so that Deadeye ain't going to be zoning much anything. With a minute remaining on the clock, Wisp have to find a way to get past this choke, and they got to do it now.
Yeah, I mean, they're sub 60 seconds now. They're waiting for grab from Soko. That's the obvious play right now, looking for an anti maybe in top into the middle of that. People just getting off the point here and trying to reset themselves as quick as fast as they can. Syrup does have rally as well. So, I mean, there's a whole ton to deny a lot of aggression coming in here from Wisp. Wisp, you know, they're going to have to really play this against the chest. They're going to have to go in with an aggression I don't think that they really want to. They've just wasted a little bit too much time, and the stall game has been huge from Ardor.
All right, Joshua already in the back line, going to be able to at least keep this Primal going to create some space. Graviton Surge also invested, but the damage might already be done by Ardor. Doom trying to trade it back, but it might just be too little, too late. We do see Doom just barely able to touch that objective, but gets taken down by a Turkey as they try to feed into this objective. The rally coming out from Vega tries to hold it all together, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Pancake is indeed being slippery with all that syrup on them. That Tracer is not easy to find in the chaos as Maple finds one of their own onto Joshua. Overtime continuing to tick away, but the spawn is not in the favor of Wisp to be able to hold this all together. The Wick's going to burn down, and I think that's going to be it. Ardor lock it down at 73 meters and head on to the attack.
You know, and I mean, points A and B were so rapidly taken by Wisp, and then they just got absolutely stymied underneath the bridge there in point C. I mean, there was nothing more that they could do. The catwalk proving to be the doggy door of no going through, and you know, Blake's bed and breakfast. They decided to close down the diner for the morning there onto their attack. So, I mean, looking at Wisp right now, I think that Anduari has to bring out the Ash now. You can't be running this double flanker kind of a composition right now. I think Doomed on the Echo right now needs to stay the same. However, I think that Anduari needs to either go to the Hanzo or to the Ash. I think the Ash is the better choice here. And, you know, CJ and Vega, I mean, they were playing their hearts out, trying to keep their team up the best they could. They just could not get over the Discord orb of Maple. Maple was getting so much work in with that Discord orb. And I tell you what, you know, right now, this is all to play for. This is their lives on the line. This is going to be them being able to go into contenders, or are they going to have to go back to open division, or, you know, for the next season? I mean, right now, you know, it's looking pretty bleak for Wisp. However, I've seen them pull out some pretty crazy stuff, some pretty crazy wins. They've gone to, you know, they've been skunked. They've gone to map 5. They've gone, you know, 4 maps, and just it's been up and down for them, a roller coaster ride for them. Ardor sitting on the precipice of getting that 3rd map win here today, going to 3-1, I believe, on the trial season, or 4-1. I'd have to look at I didn't have a chance to look at the standings before I came on air. It was a real rushed approach from me there.
No worries.
We'll see what they can get out of this.
It is going to be a 4-1. They're currently tied with Wisp right now in the 3-1 category. So we'll see if they can go ahead and turn this around. Pancake just giving a good old wave to Doom and sending them right back to the spawn where they belong. Going to create a lot of space for Ardor right now. But CJ does find Blake in their back line. Ties things up a little bit, creates a little bit less chaos for them to deal with as they set up for defense here at the choke.
Yep, and I mean, it's all about right now. What they need to do is they've just got to get in on top of them and get really settled into their defensive rotations. They need to be rotating around, making sure they watch Waffle from the back. This is a huge rotation coming from them.
Oh, Waffle coming in with a pincer move of their own, but the picks are fast and furious from Wisp. The rest comes in for the pancake, but it's not going to be enough to really do anything. Onto Ari, already up to the Deadeye within the first minute. And that's essentially a team kill, sending Ardor right back to spawn.
You know, this DPS player for Wisp, Anduari, Thunda, as they are also known as, let me tell you what, they have been putting on a performance the last 2 series that they have been in. They have been absolutely on fire, and they have not disappointed here. They've got to put the team on their back. They've got to really just keep clicking heads and let the team sort it out for themselves.
All right, well, that Deadeye is going to be online for this fight, and Matrix coming out and ends up finding Pancake, taking him down a little bit. They get the duplicate on the Brig. Interesting pick right there, but might be able to get in and do some damage, get some heals up, but get taken out of the dupe before they're able to pull off that rally, and the cleanup comes in hot, fast, and fierce. Wisp is not going to allow them to get past this choke. No way, no how, as the time bank continues to dwindle.
That's half the time off the bank, and look at the old bank for Wisp right now. They are absolutely getting maximum value out of everything they're doing. They haven't even had to use their DPS ultimate. They haven't had to use either their tank ultimates either. Look at this. Now we see the swap coming out on the healer score for Ardor. They're going to go ahead and echo what you're seeing out of this. It's going to hopefully get them, time to build up to those ultimates. I don't know about Syrup on this Brig. I don't know if they're going to be able to get up to a rally that fast.
Ooh, Gravitic Flux coming out from Soko, finds Turkey on the sidelines, falls incredibly low. Gonna have to get back to the rest of the team, but Blake does find Vega amidst the chaos. We do see the Bob go down in the back line, but Waffle is feeding in from the front. They're not paying attention because here comes Ardor knocking at the door, and they are coming in, ringing the bell of Wisp, and with 60 seconds on the clock, that locks down Objective Alpha and makes their way to the streets with an extra 2.5.
They leaned into this double shield brawl that they're trying to accomplish right now with a little bit of flankiness with the Echo. I tell you what, they played it to perfection there. They brought the aggression to Wisp's front door. Wisp was not ready for them to charge in like that. The only thing that would have made that better was a Lucio. Does the speed on top of them? But they moved in plenty fast enough.
The rotation right now coming out from Ardor, they're actually looking to take the high ground as the payload goes ahead and inches its way forward in this 5v6 fight. Turkey does have the Gravitic Flux on the line. Deadeye now coming out, as does the Amp Matrix. The Accretion does find the Deadeye. Gravitic Flux coming out from Pancake from behind. Ends up taking them all down. London Bridge indeed falls as Ardor clears the objective and the path to Objective Bravo.
What a perfect duplicate right there. They had no idea. They thought they had the one in front of them taken care of. Nene says, Pancake, I'm going to go ahead and flex it from behind with my duplicate, and they just had no answer for it. They had nothing on board. The amplification or the immortality barrier had already been thrown out, and there was no chance for them to have anything to answer against that. So, right now it's all about damage control. There's still 2 minutes on the clock. There goes the Supercharger out from Justin. This should win them the fight.
Ooh, double bongos coming out for either side as Anduari is taking control of this high ground, taking control of this fight. Single, double, triple kill. Vega just getting in a little bit of the action themselves. Soko able to find one as well. Team kill rings out loud and proud for the first time in our series. And that's going to be a hard one to push back into.
Let me tell you what, like I said, Supercharger, even though it's not as strong as it used to be, Orisa not as strong as she used to be, still one of the biggest fight-winning ultimates in the game, and they just proved it right there. One ultimate takes a complete team kill and builds everybody up towards their next batch of ultimates. So the rotation right now, Rally gets you about 30 seconds. Gravitic Flux could absolutely exterminate them, especially if they take the immortality barrier of Maple off the field.
Well, let's see if they can make that happen. Bob getting moved into the objective to be able to push that cart forward, while the rest of the team moves in on that high ground. Anduari falling low, but able to stay behind the rest of the team. Gravitic Flux coming out from Soko ends up getting missed by the accretion, and Joshua does find the immortality. There come the picks, though, as Soko does find Pancake in the sky, but not able to get the follow-up picks that are needed until they fall to the ground. Anduari is just a McCree unhinged, locking in that Peacekeeper head after head as they are now trying to stagger out Turkey.
Oh man, he's got to get to the Mega there. Gets to the Mega, just drops off. Oh no! Oh no!
What?
Nani?
Oh, that did not get you the value that you were hoping for right there, and Wisp might have finally found the breath of life that they have been needing this entire series. Pulse Bomb comes in from Doom, doesn't get the value that it's looking for, but the Immortality Field is already invested. Pancake now on the Sigma themselves as they try to earn up that Gravitic Flux as quick as they possibly can. Anduari has the Deadeye on the line. Gravitic Flux gets shut down by the Deadeye, and the cleanup comes in fast and fierce. CJ just raining hellfire down from above with that battle rifle, and the overtime wick ticks down. Wisp not out of it yet, able to take away Dorado, but still down 2-1 in our series.
I mean, this could be a reverse sweep incoming.
Woo!
Let me tell you what, they absolutely showed me some heart and soul right there. It's kind of, watching off and on, taking care of stuff around the house here, having trials on in the background, and I was like, oh man, come on, you guys got this. You got this. I mean, so now they got this, and maybe it's the Billy factor. I don't know. I don't know. But, I'll tell you what, they absolutely show me some serious heart there. That's what I love to see. They didn't take no for an answer. They got their ultimate rotations under control after getting, that little bit of a steamroll at the end of point A. They took the fight when they wanted to, but when they didn't feel like taking that fight, they went ahead and kited back. And I remember that there was one kite back from the entire team. They put the bob out. Ardor put the bob out. They just all kited away. They just said, yeah, we're not going to take this fight, fam. We're good. And they went ahead, and went back to the high ground and waited it out. And then they got the ultimate rotations back into their favor. They got the economy back into their favor. I think that's smart. One little move from them to be able to pull back from the aggression that was coming in from Ardor and then take the fight on their own terms. I think that's why they win. That's why they win Dorado. And now we're going to go to Watchpoint Gibraltar.
Ooh, definitely going to be an interesting map to see if this coordination continues up. Maybe Whisper earning the title of Clutch Kings this Contenders Trials season, looking to see if they can kind of keep Ardor thinking that they've got their heads on a swivel and going to be able to take them down easy. But this still is match point for Ardor. Unless Wisp can really lock it down the same way that they did on Dorado, they're really going to be hurting. And right now, it doesn't look like the teams are swapping sides. So Wisp is going to have to push that cart as far as they can possibly get it.
I mean, and I think that I'm thinking right now is that I think that they have to go with a different map type before they can repeat another one. So they can't go back to Escort again. You can go in any order of Control, Hybrid, Assault, Escort, but you can't repeat again until you get to map 5. And that's where you can actually go to Escort or Control. So let's see. I if I'm remembering, I think we've got to have an Assault now. You know what? You had Anubis. So have you had a Hybrid yet? I'm not sure where we're at in our rotations. I know we just did an Assault.
Haven't had a Hybrid yet.
Yeah, you got to. I mean, Hybrid would be there. Would be the map choice that Ardor needs to be picking here. And we can see, what they come up with that.
Oh. All right. That's a interesting change of events right here. It looks like Ardor's swapping the game on us and is looking to end this early by taking us to Nepal instead. Now, they were a very dominant force when we saw them on Busan. Sanctuary was just a 100-0 sweep. Wisp had no answer for the aggression that was coming out from them whatsoever. But Nepal does lend itself to some other factors that we don't typically see on the maps of Busan. So now that Wisp is warmed up, might change the game.
They can't go to Nepal either, though. They have to go to a hybrid before they can repeat any map type. So,
goodness.
We're
just getting baited all over the place, Billy.
I'm trying to tell Pride, and Pride's trying to tell them, and then it's a whole vicious circle going on right now. But and that's it. It's okay. I mean, they just got to make sure that, they've got to make sure that they're doing this in the right order. I remember that Jeff and I talk about that a lot. Bullskunk and I talk about, the rotations and what happens. So, I mean, they'll probably go. Eichenwald is a good place for them to go. I don't suggest them go to Kings Row because Wisp absolutely owned on Kings Row the other night. I would have to say, I think the Eichenwald for them would probably be the best choice for Ardor. To deny any kind of a Rhine-centric map, because Joshua does have the better Rhine. I will say that right now. Joshua over Blake as far as the Rhine. And I was talking with IQB the other night in chat, and he was saying that Ryan's not his best main tank. I would beg to differ. I think that his monkey and his Orisa are quite good. I think his Ryan, when it's on, it's so damn hot. There's no other way to put it. It's hot MTD action going on, and I get sweaty under the collar watching Joshua get very aggressive with the Reinhardt play. So that's what I would like to see is, Ardor picking away from somewhere that Joshua can absolutely own on the Reinhardt. So that's what I would expect to see. And that's what I would. They're still trying to figure out. They're still trying to figure out what to do.
Well, actually, at least what I heard from production, it looks like they're going to. They're gonna look to pull out the Joshua Ryan. They're gonna look to see if they can stand on their own, or maybe they're hoping that Pancake and Waffle can just sandwich Wisp, and that the Joshua Ryan won't be the difference maker here. It'll be the DPS of Ardor, who have indeed been popping off this entire series. So it'll be interesting to see how they utilize this. Of course, Kings Row allows itself to all sorts of compositions. Honestly, I was kind of hoping for Blizzard World because their dive and double bubble have been pretty good against what Wisp has been pulling out so far. But nevertheless, Kings Row is probably going to be about that brawl on brawl or that rush on rush matchup. And as you said, Billy, Joshua is locking it down right now, and Whisper already getting that hot streak going. I think they can keep it going here on the row.
Oh man, this is an interesting choice from Ardor. I also want to say, Anduari absolutely popped the F off on Kings Row last night, or on when it was Monday night? No, Thursday night. Thursday night is when I saw them. No, it was last night. Sorry, my days are we're coming out of the pandemic, and my days are still blending together because I'm still dealing with the kids at home and from school and stuff like that.
I feel that.
Oh my word! But seriously, looking at what they're coming in here with right now, Anduari put in a singularly masterful performance and actually stole the map from underneath. I believe it was Drifters' heads. They won 3-1 against Drifters, who were sitting in first place the other night, and just absolutely took it to them on the back of Anduari's Hanzo. I have not seen the doomed Farah here in Trials yet, so I remember seeing it in the Xbox scene when I used to cast them back in Xbox days in the console gaming league. The Doom and the Farah were absolutely filth. But Anduari absolutely took over a map yesterday just playing Hanzo. Nobody expected it to work, and I said, you guys don't know what the Hanzo Anduari is. I was telling Chat, I'm like, Chat, you just don't know. I know what he can do on the Hanzo. So looks like he's gonna bring out the McCree here. Probably gonna try and deal with Blake once again.
All right, well, let's see if they can indeed make that happen. It looks like neither team is opting into the brawl or the rush. They're opting into the Sigma Ball versus a double shield. Is this rotation coming out from Wisp to try to go ahead and gain control of the high ground to start things off? You know that Blake going to be trying to roll in to that back room, try to get some picks or at least dislodge some of the team before they go ahead and jump on over. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. We see the stun coming out, doesn't find its target as Blake is already in the back line, takes down Soko. That messy ball not going to be able to allow this team to stay grouped up the way that they are wanting to. There's already a minute on the off of the clock, excuse me, as Anduari trying to see if they can find Waffle here, but the recall will be there for them. And I gotta say, that this feels like a rat in a trap, a bird in a cage right now for Wisp, because time's just ticking down, and Ardor just waiting for them to poke out so that they can take off their head. Maple getting the charge shot in, doing a lot of damage, but Doom does find Pancake, tying it up 5-5, 5-6 now. Is actually, it looks like Soko's going to come on in on the Diva to go ahead and try to turn the tide, be able to get back to the team rather easily. Stick coming in, gets nothing but Immortality Field though, as they try to hold it all together. It looks like this objective going to start going the way of Wiz as the fight continues on.
Yeah, indeed, and that the amplification matrix is what won them that fight. They got them all bunched up into a small room on the high ground and just let loose of hell. And now all the fights are coming in, all the value coming in the world. The Adaptive Chili saving the team there, though. That was a smart usage there from Blake.
The messiness of this fight is absolutely insane. 96% on the objective as Turkey is just trying to touch and hold. We do see the duplicate online. The question is, will the trigger be pulled? And it will be. Pancake ends up grabbing the brink again. That is not the person you want to be grabbing in a 1v6. And that payload is going to get unlocked with 4 minutes on the clock as they take to the streets.
Anduari's hero pool is so vast right now. And I mean, just the fact that they were able to use the Deadeye so quickly after getting stymied in the hotel there. They built up the Deadeye so quickly and was just able to zone the entirety of Ardor off the point. And now, sub 4 minutes. I mean, they had to invest their rally to get that done. But I think that's a smart investiture of the one DPS ultimate. And CJ almost has another amplification matrix ready. Supercharger ready to go again as well.
Ooh, well, let's see if they can make that work for them. We do see Syrup popping out the rally to lead their way in. Self-destruct from Soko. Doesn't find anything but shield, and the cleanup is fast, fierce, and not at all easy for Wisp to deal with. That supercharger not going to be enough to fight back against the strength of Ardor. They send them all back to spawn.
I think right now, because, they're running the Sigma, that's why Anduari is not pulling out the Hanzo. I mean, even though they did it against the double shield comp yesterday as well. I mean, right now, they've got to, get more pressure to bear onto Turkey Bacon and Eggs' experimental barrier. I think if they could take that down in a hurry, kind of burst it down, I think that they have a better shot at getting into what they want to do. And Sogo bringing back out their own Sigma, so now they're going to have their own double shield as well.
Ooh, the stick comes in, gets nothing but immortality, but you know that those folks from Wisp are indeed low. We see Anduari trying to look out for Waffle and finds him, able to get the stun and click, but Turkey's in the front line just absolutely chopping him up, serving him up, and it looks like this bed and breakfast is going to continue to serve up some delicious meals.
Rolled like an omelet. Just gotta say, rolled like an omelet. But, that was all set up by the pulse bomb of Waffle, pulling out that immortality barrier from CJ, and then they were free to let loose with the flux. So now, both DPS ultimates ready to go for Wisp. They can actually win this on the back of a Deadeye.
Deadeye from Anduari trying to zone out, finds Waffle in the back line, and Pancake comes out with a duplicate Sigma of their own. Gravitic Flux comes in, gets stunned out, but able to get Vega in the process just enough before getting taken out by the duplicate. The beam comes in, takes down Immortality, takes down Anduari, and the cleanup is fast and fierce. So Ardor are just not going to allow Wisp to be able to push that cart any further with a minute and a half remaining on the clock.
Yep, and I mean, they've just got to worry about getting Pancake out of their face and getting out of these small corridors, because the sticky bombs get so much more value in an enclosed space like that. If you latch onto the wall and burst you from the side, it can do whatever it needs to do. But it was a kind of an expensive fight coming out from Ardor there. They invested a lot into that fight. We're looking for Turkey Bacon and Eggs to work up to this next flux. That's going to be their saving grace.
That is indeed, and now it's going to be the halt.
Huge.
Smack in the face with that accretion. Gravitic Flux comes in, finds 3, but the cleanup just isn't there. Joshua does find Blake with the bongos now released. The powerhouse of the horse is in charge right now, but Maple does find Anduari amidst the chaos. Doomed, able to pick off Pancake from behind, and the only one staggered out now is Maple, possibly giving them objective Bravo.
I think Blake can get back and get a touch unless Doom lands a stick and really just stops them from being able to push in here. Sub 30 seconds. I think this is all it. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and give up point B here and just make their stand here with, you know, a minute 45 left on the time bank. Duplicate ready to go. Flux is also there. Maple. I mean, Transcendence is going to have to be held for any number of ultimates here.
Woo! That is a fact. Remick Doomed coming in with the stick of a lifetime, finds the double and ends up cleaning it all up. Waffle gets 0 value out of the Deadeye that gets popped, and that is going to be a payload push-in for Wisp.
I mean, you take that all day long, and twice on Sunday, Anduari getting the maximum value that they need out of the flashbang and out of the Deadeye. It zoned everybody around. Maple got super aggressive with that Transcendence, but it just wasn't enough.
Ooh, Pancake coming out with the duplicate Sigma once again. We see the slam coming in to create some space. Minefield littering the objective right now. Gravitic Flux finds 4. They gotta be able to get that cleanup in there. Waffle finds CJ and Vega with the healers down. Is dead, done, and dusted for this objective as Wisp head back to spawn once again.
Flux is coming up for Soko, though. That's something that you need to worry about. Sky Noon could be a combo here. Syrup, I mean, if they focus down Syrup and take the rally off the field, I think that you get free value out of this because they have nothing to defend against it other than the shielding of Turkey Bacon eggs. Soko's got to wait for Anduari to get this High Noon online.
Doomed using the rotation through the window as the High Noon comes out, ticking down the time bank, and Waffles gets found by the pulse bomb once again. Blake down as well in that backline. Just too many stuns for Blake to deal with, and the cleanup is fast and fierce. Overtime starts ticking away as they make their way into objective Charlie, but there's still going to be one last fight for Ardor to lock this down.
Soko can stall them out with the Gravitic Flux, them coming out of spawn. CJ can pin them down with the Amplification Matrix. Maple's going to have a huge one here.
Gravitic Flux coming out from either side right now. It doesn't seem that either is going to get the pop-up that they're looking for. Waffle trying to earn up that Deadeye to try to see if they can get him from behind. The stun comes out, trying to keep Soko from moving in. Then here come the bongos from Joshua. Pancake trying to earn up that duplicate, but gets melted by CJ, keeping their head on a swivel. In overtime, Wisp walks away with objective Charlie, locking down a very good ending for themselves and setting up Ardor for a very messy fight on the attack.
I mean, Turkey Bacon, Egg, and Cheese just got CC'd into oblivion there with the Amplification Matrix as well. I mean, did you see the amount of assists that came on that kill? Ah! I mean, yeah, Soko, I mean, Turkey Bacon, Egg, and Cheese was just having so much fun playing the game at that moment. However, it was in overtime. So there is a set of conditions here that if Ardor can really take this aggression to Wisp and finish with time, they're going to get an extra opportunity to get, you know, the final third map point here and take the series. However, Wisp yesterday, they made Drifters go into overtime as well. And I mean, their defense yesterday was absolutely stellar. They kind of got a little bit rolled on point A, but point B, the stall was so much in effect. They got their ultimate rotations down. They were able to just take so much time from Drifters yesterday on King's Row that, I mean, the time wasting was supreme. Anduari and Joshua, they were really putting on a performance yesterday in the overtime, especially the streets phase. This is all to play for. I got to see, you know, what kind of picks do they get? What kind of rotation does Ardor take to catch them out with their pants down?
All right, it looks like Maple is opting for the Zenyatta this time around. Vice the Brig. Provide a little bit more damage over distance, provide a little less healing, but hey, looks like it's working out, taking Soko immediately out of the fight with that charge shot. First tick coming down for Ardor, looking to lock down that second tick as well, as we see the Tracer battle going on in the streets already. We see Wisp now moving in onto the objective. Immortality down for CJ, and Joshua falls. Maple is just unhinged right now as I watch the slideshow in front of my eyes, just clicking away. And it looks like that's going to be objective alpha with a very healthy time bank for Ardor as they head to the streets.
The early pick on the Soko completely destroyed the defensive capabilities of Wisp. Nothing else to say about it. I mean, that's all there is. And now Soko has got to, redeem themselves and stop this forward hold coming out of Ardor, because they're playing all the way up here at the end of point B.
All right, they're up at point B, and they're getting aggressive. Anduari able to get that initial pick onto Syrup, though. Create some space to push them back to the objective. Doom making their way up to that pulse bomb, but it looks like Ardor, they're just going to give up the objective, pull back past the choke to regroup with the rest of the team. Oh, no, it looks like they're going to go ahead and hold that choke right there. They're not going to get pushed back past it just yet, and there comes that initial pick from Blake, able to get that follow-up onto Joshua, and that might be the space they need. Pulse bomb coming in to clean everything on up, and there's nothing that this pancake can't do, filling up Wisp and sending them back to spawn.
I mean, that's exactly what they needed to do right there. They're still going to get another fight, though, Wispar. They're going to be able to come back in and take care of it. There we go. Cleaned up the feed very nicely. CJ's going to be able to stop them with an amplification matrix going this Maple. Let's have the answer here for them.
Moving in with the bongos, looking to create some space to grab objective Bravo. Gravitic Flux in from Turkey, tries to create that additional damage in, but it's not enough to be able to push a Wisp back. Now we see Doom coming in on that Genji, trying to reflect as much damage as possible, but already Waffle's got that Deadeye on lock, but is already sighted out by Doom. Gravitic Flux comes in, and the Dynamite just burns them all down. Turkey does take on Duari amidst the chaos, but that's not enough to hold it all together as the point is retaken by Wisp.
I'm not sure how much time is left on the clock, but I think it's like
3:20 maybe.
Yeah. Oh, I tell you what, that was an expensive fight from them, though. They've got both tank ultimates out. However, you're working up towards another amp matrix for CJ. CJ has been putting in some serious work on this Baptiste, so let's see what we can do. Anduari also has Bob into this next fight, so that should be enough for them to really just stymie the work coming in
Bob
from them.
already being invested there as Maple deletes Bob. Bob barely gets a chance to wave and say, "How's your father?" without getting taken out there. So that's not going to give them the space that they were looking for at all. Wisp having to pull back to objective Bravo, but that AM Matrix is on time for that rotation, and Soko finds Waffle. That might be enough to force them to push back. Gravitic Flux, no! Turkey is ready to feed on in, finds Soko to tie it up 5-5, but with that tank down, it might be enough for them to continue to push into this objective.
Oh, no.
Doomed is ready with the blade. They're looking to chop up this backline, but Blake turns around, not expecting it. Doomed just gets melted by the bongos with 2 minutes on the clock. Ardor takes objective Bravo and makes their way into the factory.
Yeah, I tell you what, that was a serious recognition of death incoming. And Maple's got to be their target right now. They're still not dealing with the Maple right now. I mean, there's the pulse bomb out, gets a lot of damage on Soko. That's going to be a lot of healing resources for CJ and Vega to build up towards the next amp matrix. However, there's nobody contesting these corners right now. Doomed on this Genji has got to get a massive blade out.
We gotta see if they're probably earning their way up to a bongo blade or a gravitic blade so that they can get that cleanup in, but the bongos out for Blake are creating a massive amount of space. The gravitic flux comes in, calling out the transcendence, and that might be just what Doomed is waiting for. The rally now coming out from Vega to supplement the healing as they go ahead and push on in. Turkey falls to Joshua, and that is all they need to make happen. No other ultimates need to be invested as we go ahead and see it locked down at the 57-meter mark.
I mean, and they only invested the rally into that, so Doom still has kept the katana sheathed here. You do have Super Blade ready to go for the next fight. And once again, you're going to have to be building, or you're going to be pulling out the immortality barrier of Syrup once again, and also dealing with turkey bacon and eggs, gravitic flux.
There it goes, the bongo blade. The song is played as Doom just cuts off the back line without the Transcendence there to save the day. There was nothing they could do. 2 minutes remain on the clock as Ardor heads back to spawn with their tail between their legs.
Sub 2 minutes. Bob ready to go once again. I think Doom needs to pop something a little bit unconventional here instead of the Genji. Maybe something with a little bit more burst potential. Maybe bringing out an answering Tracer might be the answer for them.
Well, it looks like they're going to stick on it for now as the Gravitic Flux comes in. So does the Bob and gets melted once again by that Discord and Waffles right there. It might be enough for them to continue to push on in, but this Ant Matrix is fighting back furiously. Anduari finds Maple amidst the chaos, and that might be exactly what they need to continue to push them all back. Doom now taking down Turkey, and that's all said and done as they continue to lock this down and lock themselves down a second fight if they lose this objective.
I tell you what, Captain Jack, that was a hell of a hold there. Sub 60 seconds now. Syrup coming up on another Ant Matrix. They got zero joy out of their last one. What I'm looking for, though, is Maple. Maple's got to be, once again, the focal point of Wisp. Wisp takes Maple down. With sub 30 seconds, Transcendence probably won't be able to save them except in overtime.
We see the Mikanzo combo coming out. Gravitic Flux finds Syrup, but the trade comes in from Pancake. But with your main healer out of the fight, there's not a lot that you can do to push in with a lone Zenyatta. That's going to be 30 seconds now remaining on the clock as we see the rotation coming in once again for them to be able to try to take this here and now. Otherwise, Wisp going to be able to tie this on up. Bongos coming out for either side as the Storm Arrow melts down the shields. Turkey finds Joshua as we see the quick reload from the Deadeye coming in from Waffle. They figured that's the best use of it. Finds Doomed in the process. And now they're going to see the feed coming in. Vega trying to stop the cart where they can, but overtime is now ticking away. Now it's going to be up to Soko and Anduari to hold it all together. The blade comes in. The bongos come in. He got the Pancake, melts it down. Anduari and the Bob just get all the picks that they need to. And Wisp is not about to let their streak against Ardor end. 2-2 is Wisp locked down King's Row and take us to map 5.
They cut Turkey Bacon out of Gravitic Flux. That was the fight-winning ultimate that they needed. They had to invest the Transcendence early in the fight, Captain Jack, and they did not have that available for all the burst damage and the blade coming out from Doom. Smart play coming out from Wisp there. Let me tell you what, they were up against it. Their lives were on the line, and now, map 5.
I mean, it's just like seeing a bird in a cage, just stuck in that corner, not certain how to get out. Well, some birds, they get pretty angry if you corner them in a cage. And right now, Wisp, although we thought this was going to be an easy day for Ardor, is showing not to be the case. As we head into map 5, which it looks like Ardor is now actually going to take us to Watchpoint Gibraltar. I don't know, Billy. It seems like Ardor is kind of losing their grip on this fight and currently being in second place. I mean, is it possible that Ardor might not find their way back to Contenders?
They may. They may not. Wisp might be the ones going up. It just depends on how they come out here.
Yeah.
I mean, it was meters difference. It was pixels difference between these two teams there on point B or point C of King's Row. And, we didn't see the Joshua Reinhardt come out like I expected. So when I really want to say, they have shown heart. Ardor have got to show heart now. They were up 2-0 in the series. Now they're looking at map 5. I want to see the fight come back from them. I want to see what's coming in for them. What do they have left in the tank to take it to this upstart team from Wisp, because Wisp, they took down Drifters. They were the #1 seed. Now, Ardor is sitting, pretty much atop of the pack. Wisp is like, nay, we want that spot. So who is going to take it here? That's all to play for in map 5.
Mm-hmm. Is really the way to go right now, and it looks like we might be having some issues here with some of the members of the team. So we're going to go ahead and throw it to a quick break. Don't go anywhere. This absolutely massive map 5 that is going to shake up the NA Contenders Trials will be back in a few moments. Welcome back, folks. We are in what now has become an absolute barn burner between Ardor and Wisp. Ardor looking to be the clear-cut contender to head to Contenders, but Wisp is like, nay, good sir. We are going to go ahead and turn this ship right on around and bring us on to a map 5 after a very dominant force on Dorado and King's Row. Now, Billy, Wisp has been absolutely popping off right now, and Ardor, they're bringing it to the brink, but they're not getting that final little bit that they need to get in. And now as we head into Watchpoint Gibraltar, I feel this is truly anyone's game.
If the DPS of Wisp play to their full potential, they should win this map. Not taking anything away from Waffle and Pancake, but when Anduari and Doomed get on the same rotation and start getting on the same wavelength, it turns into something magical. And it's something that I've noticed from the last Trials rotation that we saw back in March, and we're seeing it here again in May. Anduari and Doomed when they start to really get on that synergized wavelength, it is a completely different animal. And the fact that we're going to Watchpoint Gibraltar tells me, A, that Ardor do not want to go to a control map where they might, lose to, the victim of a fate that a Koth can do to you. They want to win this out in a more standardized map type. Mm-hmm. They also want to bring out their double bubble composition once again. They've been feeding for it. They need this for them to win. And I think that if they start, really executing the double bubble dives, that they can get so much value out of. And Blake and especially Waffle playing with Blake in concert, if they can really get that down, they're going to take this map. So it all depends on who is going to come out of the gate firing.
Well, this is one thing that we've seen before, those supports locking on to that Mercy and Brig. Great defense for, oh my goodness! Huge anti-nade coming in from CJ to just interrupt my train of thought and make the whole Ardor purple. They're going to be crying back in spawn because that payload is going to make its way through the underground. No sweat.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Joshua just needs to contain his aggression just a little bit. You've got staggers out. You've gotten the cleave damage in on top of them. Yes, the healing's going to come through. Yes, everything else is going to be built back up. But let me tell you what, that was a perfectly executed nano or anti-dive. Again, once again, their Maple answers back.
And now they're going to get the cleanup on the Echo Mercy. Pancake just melting them down, but CJ finds them with an anti-nade of their own. Onduari answering to Waffle. Now it's a 4v4 fight on the objective. Onduari trying to make their way to the high ground to take down Turkey, but I don't think it's going to be enough to get them out of this fight just yet. Joshua getting the nano, getting slept in the primal. That monkey not going to find the full value they were looking for. Blake tries to dive back, but it's too little too late. Not going to be able to get the healing that they were looking for as we see the payload moving its way into Objective Alpha. The Deadeye zones. Objective Alpha is captured. 5 minutes are on the clock.
Yeah, oh my gosh, dude, using the Brig and getting a rally out in the middle of it, and they're just pouring in on top of Ardor right now. Look at this focused aggression coming in from the entirety of them. I tell you what, Captain Jack, they are firing on all cylinders. They are filling their oats right now. And that was just beautifully played from them. They do have answers to come back in, though.
You know what I really think it is, Billy? I think that they just ended up getting hungry. They were still kind of full from lunch earlier on, and now they get to have breakfast for dinner. They're just eating up Ardor right now as they move their way back into the objective. Pancake on the duplicate. Winston tries to hold it together, but gets taken down by Joshua, and now is going to have to earn that back on up. Doom does return in kind, taking Blake out of the equation. It just doesn't seem, no matter what they can do. Soko with the pulse bomb is just going to continue to push this payload forward, and Whisper wasting no time to rush this objective into Charlie.
I mean, they have to touch here. 3:45 on the clock, and this is going to be, yep, that's point B right there. What a beautiful...
Wow! There's nothing that they can do. 5 minutes back on the clock as they grab objective Bravo, and the fight continues on. CJ finds Turkey after the D-Mech, and Dupe is already in the back line with that pocket. Vega just looking to see if they can melt down Pancake fast enough. Blake swapping over to that ball to be able to get back into the fight a little faster, but that payload is fervently moving its way forward.
Yeah, especially when they take corner here. I think, self-destruct. You have almost everything online to really take the last part of this point. Turkey Bacon Egg is going to have a massive, massive bomb here.
All right, well, Doomed able to get the duplicate Diva before the bomb comes down. Joshua coming out with the primal, interrupts that res and takes her up out of the fight. CJ getting the follow-up there, and it is just clean up city. There's nothing that is stopping Wisp right now. They are hot to trot. They are cleaning their plates, almost abandoning the objective. They're so excited as they move into Charlie.
Soko has the ability to just cordon off the entire point with the self-destruct. Here comes the Deadeye, though. Deadeye's going to be huge.
Onduari! Lighten up the kill feed, takes down the Echo Mercy like it is nothing right now. Having Pancake with syrup as they go ahead and get melted down by Waffles on the high ground, but I think it's too little too late. I don't think there's anything that they can do to be able to keep this going in their favor. The feed comes in, but they're already down to the final meter. It's just going to be a feed fest from Spawn, and unless a pick comes in, they're not going to be able to turn this fight around just yet. Maple trying to provide some healing, Pancake trying to touch, but it's just not enough. The picks coming in over and over again, and there's just nothing that Ardor can do except run down the time bank of this absolute massacre. The breakfast buffet has been invested on. Now duplicates coming out for either side as Doomed and Pancake try to turn it around, but we see both duplicates getting taken down at the moment of caution. Recall comes in, the remake comes in, able to get that kill for Doomed, but the Feed Fest just continues to lay down the objective, and finally, Objective Charlie is captured with 2 minutes 47 seconds on the clock.
45-second stall. I mean, that's bonkers. And it wasn't that they weren't focusing targets on; they just had the speed to come back in. They were getting those, last-second ultimates and pressing Q. So, I mean, full credit to both sides there. That was just a blistering pace that was set by Wisp. Wisp is absolutely awakened here in Gibraltar, and now we're gonna have to see the same kind of answer come out of Ardor, or they go down in the reverse sweep. Wisp, I believe, will take the top spot right now in Trials with 1 game to play.
That is literally what it comes down to, and actually, if I understand correctly, it almost ties up their differential as well. I think Ardor will still have a point on top of them due to it being a 3-2, but nevertheless, it's going to be up to Ardor to try to hold on, because we still don't know what's going on with the SMC and Drifters game as to which one of those teams are going to be able to lock in the 3-2 tonight. So at the end of the day, it is going to be an absolute shift as we move into the last day of NA Contenders Trials.
I tell you what, this is going to shake up the region once again. This has been the closest contested Trials that I have seen in quite some time. And look, this Pancake's going to go ahead and use this teleporter to save all the movement abilities of their team. So they're going to have the jump. They're going to have everything that they need to get in on top of this team.
All right, we see double bubbles on either side moving into this objective as Blake is looking for that cleanup. Not the fat anti-nade that we saw coming out from CJ on this attack just yet. And the high ground's going to continue to be held for now. The bubble's demolished as Blake falls back to the rest of the team, but Joshua and Doom do fall amidst the chaos. The rotation now has to come out from Wisp to try to hold the server room, as Ardor are just going to get aggressive. They're going to meet that aggression as quickly as they possibly can, as Pancake lone pushes the objective. We're seeing the rest of Ardor just make their way onto the high ground. Soko and Doom falling incredibly low, forced to use the recall to be able to stay in the fight. As we go ahead and see now, they're looking to rotate to the objective and take the fight to them there. And it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get those additional picks before the game gets started. Once again, that payload's going to get stalled out as the action just kind of teeters on Pancake, able to get that initial pick right there. Now the Nano invested onto Blake, looking to clean up the support line. And looking to clean up everybody with that tickle gun. Objective Alpha's captured, and Wisp is headed to the far spawn.
I think that the fact that we saw a bit of an attempt at a kite back from Wisp, but they didn't fully commit to it. They tried to go back in rather than just giving up the point and getting back together as a full 6, because now you're going to get some free cart push coming out from Ardor. Now you have ultimates coming up online. I don't know where CJ's Nano went, but it is not on the board anymore.
No, it is not. It just got melted down. Turkey feeding him the Graviton Surge, but gonna go ahead and keep Joshua alive for now with that Primal, but not enough. Waffle just lightened up that kill feed with the rest of the team. Soko able to get the trade on their own Monkey, but we see the trades, Pulse Bomb trades, Tracer trades just coming up the stonks are huge right now for Ardor as they continue to push that payload in. Doom barely able to get away with the skin of their teeth as Joshua just tries to hold on, but it's not enough. 4 minutes on the clock right now as the staggers continue to come in. They're looking to meet the time bank of Wisp with a fervor.
I mean, they're just staggering themselves. They haven't come back together as a full 6. And, I mean, Ardor are doing what Ardor does best and just takes advantage of any small chink in the armor. They absolutely just take it to them and are punishing on a brutal level right now. 5 minutes. This is actually a better time bank than what we saw out of Wisp.
Now the question is, can the stagger come in just as fierce? Blake falling incredibly low, not able to get that primal online as they were hoping for. Turkey now coming in, getting supercharged up, earning their way up to that graviton surge as the payload makes its way around the corner. Anduari trying to find Pancake there on the flank as they come up to the pulse bomb. Graviton is huge, and the trades come in from the McCrees. Deadeye now coming out, or looking to come out, but Waffle is just cleaning it up. The plate is full, and it just looks like Wisp doesn't have enough in the tank to hold it together.
I mean, Jisra's going to have to get a last-second touch here and hope that Soka can come out and get a good charge and start lighting up these players. But, I mean, the ultimate rotation is in their favor.
There it is. Deadeye comes out, Pulse Bomb comes out, and the heads start collecting on Duari, getting the 180 headshot onto Pancake, and almost a nice capture time, but Ardor headed back to spawn, but still set up for the next fight.
Unfortunately, it cost them a lot of their ult bank, and you can just throw a nano on top of Blake, let him go nano monkey into the back line, and hope that CJ and Vega can hold up the team throughout the fight. Rally will be up for Syrup as well. Vega swapping over to the Lucio for the last minute touch to try and contest, but now has swapped back over to the Brigida.
All right, we see the nano invested onto Blake, earning up that primal. The stun comes in to make sure that CJ doesn't get flailed right on off the side, and now the nano goes in onto Joshua, gets melted down by Pancake. The pulse bomb's not enough to hold it together, and that is a wow speed run by both teams. 30-second difference as Ardor says, okay, you're going to set the line, we're going to step over it and push it more into your territory. Your move, Wisp.
The chess games are afoot. Are they not, my friend?
Because yes, they are.
Now it's all about how far can you push. How good is your ultimate rotation going to be? How risky are we going to see Joshua come out and be right out the gate here? That's what I really want to see answered. CJ, I've seen them get a minute nano online before. So that's not out of the realm of possibility. That's where you have to really watch what kind of aggression is going to come out from Joshua. Are they going to have the bubbles ready in rotation from Soko? If they decide to, pull out the Zarya, I think the Zarya is a better choice here. It gives a lot more staying power to Joshua. Anduari didn't have a lot of success with the Widowmaker the last time. I think that you need to, worry about how much ultimate charge you can get, because you're going to be sub 2 seconds once you go back and swap characters. This is going to be building it at the time that you have to build an ultimate.
That's absolutely true. And now that I've gotten taken off of oxygen because of the ridiculousness of these two teams, we're able to get back into the action right here. Anduari already finding out Pancake, forcing the recall as they go ahead and push here on the flank, looking to see if they can grab Turkey before the bubbles end up being a nuisance to them. And Anduari going to go ahead and already get chased down by Pancake, but this is going to fall incredibly low. Waffle does get found, able to get that headshot in, and Anduari may not be out of these woods just yet, but Pancake is going to repay that in kind, making it a 5v5 fight, but Vega's going to hold everything together for now. Turkey getting charged up there in the side room as they try to keep Blake alive, and that payload is going to still make its way into the underground for now. And I mean, Anduari swapping over to the McCree now to deal with Pancake on this Tracer. CJ Maple, I mean, pretty similar ult charges for their nano, so it's all about who's going to get the better value, who's going to get it out second. All right, well, the Nano is coming out now onto Blake, looking to provide some support. The Pulse Bomb comes in from Pancake and not able to find a target that they were looking for. Joshua trades on back, but gets booped back by Syrup. Not going to find the full value of theirs as well. The Primal does come out for Blake, being a menace in the back line, but it's not going to be enough to hold everything together. Doomed able to duplicate the Zarya, trying to earn their way up to their own Graviton Surge to create some space for Wisp to move in the underground. Deadeye coming out from Waffle for the quick reload, but not going to find any additional value whatsoever. The Graviton is fat. It is fat with a double PH on the front of it and the back. The Pulse Bomb comes in, doesn't find any value there, or the recall comes in rather. Not going to find the value. It's looking for Overtime Wick, now ticking away as Wisp push into Objective Alpha.
Yeah, but the stall was so good there from them. I mean, that buys the time to get the recontest. Blake's going to come back in on the Wrecking Ball and be able to touch. And you've got the Graviton Surge and the Rally.
Anduari on the high ground, zoning out, trying to keep Blake from touching, and there's nothing that they can do. Big Slam comes in as the Deadeye wears away. Graviton Surge is in a fat for Turkey, and that is it! What? There was a lot more than one in that Graviton Surge right there. And they just pooped everybody away.
Wow. But they did get the point. And there is actually a world here where...
Oh my God, Billy, don't say it.
There's actually a world here.
Billy. Oh my God, please don't say it. Please don't say it, Billy.
There's a world here where we could actually tie.
Oh my God.
And, I mean, it's just exactly what we just saw there. If they don't get any progress on it and it's an overtime and they wipe everybody out, it's done. And you're going to another match. And that could actually happen here. I'm liking the fact that Soko's going to go ahead and bring out the Zarya. I mean, we saw Doomed get the duplicate of the match right there. That Graviton Surge that was gained in the last waning seconds of their duplication of Zarya absolutely wins them that fight, gets them that cart push that they needed. If they could have dealt with Pancake a little bit faster on the Symmetra, I think that they would have gotten cart push a lot better. But I mean, the stall from Pancake may have turned this match into their favor. Should Ardor be able to take this first point?
Billy, I have played this game and casted this game for a total of 4 years and have not once seen an escort hold, and if it happens today, I may cry tears of joy or tears of fear, because if that's where we're going, I am afraid at what map 6 will bring. The teleporter does come out from Pancake to create some space for Ardor here on the high ground, and they are taking it with a fervor. They're not wasting any time pushing Wisp off of this high ground and back into the server room. Thankfully, neither team has lost a member yet, so there's still going to be a full 6-on-6. Joshua jumping on in, but not going to get the full value due to the stun. Well, it looks like they're going to be able to rotate into this server room very effectively. Man. And there's the first pick. Blake finds Joshua with the help of the rest of Ardor, and there it is. Turkey, bacon, egg, and a cheese is just flailing on this objective. They are moving into the golden box of victory, and it's a minute 20 on the clock. They got to be able to stagger this out. 0.29 meters right now. That's all they've got to move it to be able to get it in their favor, and that's a far spawn, and they can't get there. I was believing. I was trying to believe, Billy, but it was just not enough for Wisp to handle the aggression of Ardor. They will walk away 3-2, breaking the streak that Wisp have had on them so far this season and setting them up with a locked-in spot for Contenders proper.
I mean, what a match to come in and cast on the fly.
Wow.
Did absolutely treat it to one banger of a match. This is why I cast here. This is why I love this scene. This is why I love doing what I do and being able to share this with them. I mean, full credit to both teams. Holy crap. That was a series and a half. My gosh. Massive is going out to Ardor, pulling that out and avoiding the reverse sweep. Wisp, that's got to be a stinger for them. I think they're still in it, though. I think they're still in the hunt to get one of those 4 precious transfer spots up to Contenders proper. Oh, but they're going to have to win out tomorrow.
Ooh, actually, and we just got word in from the admins that SMC taking it against Drifters in a clean sweep, 3-0. So now, oh boy, Wisp are teetering right now on what could possibly be the edge of defeat and not finding their way back to Contenders proper. And Billy, I don't know how to feel about that. I think we might need to take a break. I know we need to bring in somebody from Ardor so that we can talk about what a heck of a match those folks just played. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Contenders Trials action in a few moments. Welcome back, folks. We have got from Ardor Pancake, aka Dynasty, joining us here. Now, Dynasty, holy crap. That was an incredible match that we just watched. How are you feeling?
I mean, I'm feeling good. It's just a regular match, but it was very, very long and intense. But I feel like I had a lot of fun playing that. I'm feeling good. So it's all good. It's trials.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I found really interesting, I mean, it seemed in the beginning that Ardor was just ready to walk on away with it after the first couple of maps. What kind of changed or shifted as you saw Wisp kind of getting their groove back during Dorado and Kings Row?
I think they were just playing more as a team, like more than us. I feel like whenever we played versus Uprising Academy, we were up 2-0, like hard dominating, and then we just started. I think we started slacking. Honestly, it feels like we just lost to ourselves those two maps. But we pulled it together. Felt like Wisp is a decent team, but they got a lot of chirpers. That's all I gotta say.
Chirping indeed. I tell you what, I came in on Dorado. I was actually resting, watching in bed. But I tell you what, they really did flip it on a switch. And I got to ask you, the rotations that you guys made on Gibraltar, they came out and just completely kind of ransacked you guys. And then you came out and did the exact same thing and actually did it better than them. What was the thought of running turkey bacon on the Zarya exclusively, except for last second contests and stuff like that? Because it seemed like Soko was getting outplayed there on Gibraltar by your off tank.
Well, in the mirror, we think that, I think it's obviously known that Zarya usually outperforms Diva because you could just bubble monkey and then he absorbs all the CC. So we felt like running that would be better, and we could abuse that comp, and we could also one shot the Diva with the full energy Zarya. And the way our comp works is like a brawl comp, but there's steps to it, and then once you mash the steps together of the Winston component and then the Zarya, it becomes into a big brawl. And then at that point, when you're brawling Diva versus Zarya, Diva loses.
That is really what it comes down to. And we know kind of from past performance right now, this is actually Ardor's first victory over Wisp. How's the team feeling about that, to kind of be able to turn the tides, if it were?
I mean, when you look at the rosters from the past 3 times we played Wisp, I was the common denominator on all those 3. So if anything, I would be the person that would have the feeling throughout all those 3 matches. So I mean, honestly, I don't know. Personally, I felt like we shouldn't have lost those other matches, but it feels like they're a good team when they play together. But personally, I don't think they're good individually, but they work really well together, which is what you need in Overwatch. So that's good on them.
Yeah, I keep praying for that in every one of my comp games, and unfortunately, it never happens. So yeah. Glad to see it here at least.
I mean, that's how it felt though. That last map, it felt like a ranked game. It felt like one of those where you got rolled, and then your team low-key booms, and then it's you slowly win, and then that's how it felt. Felt like ranked.
All right. Billy, you got anything else?
Nothing much else for Dynasty. Any shout outs or any call outs to your friends, family, significant others?
Yeah, I want to shout out my girlfriend because she is the best woman in the world. I love her.
Aww. We're a bunch of dads over here, so we love feeling the love. Thank you so much, Dynasty, for joining us. And go on back to your team. Celebrate your amazing victory and your lock-in back to Contenders proper.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me and producing the trials matches. Appreciate it.
No problem. Have a good one. And thank you all so much for watching, but we're not done yet. We've got UA versus Obey Alliance coming up here very shortly. So hold on to your butts, folks, because we're getting ready to head into some more Contenders Trials action in a few moments. Stay tuned. Welcome back, folks, to the North American Contenders Trials, where we just had one heck of a banger, but now things are going to be a little bit different. Now, they were fighting out for second and third place, but now this is a battle of David and Goliath proportions here, folks. We have first seed right now, Uprising Academy versus 7th seed, Obey Alliance. And let me tell you what, Billy, I'm rooting for the underdog, but I feel like all they're going to be doing is poking the bear.
It just depends on how they come out. I mean, Gig and Adam have been putting up such a fabulous trials right here. I mean, we're looking at 2 ex-Overwatch League players, even though Adam didn't get a chance to play for the Gladiators or the Valiant, you know, still has that caliber next to their name. What I really want to point in on is that Obey Alliance, you know, despite their record, their matches have not been just complete walkovers. And that's one thing that people have got to realize. That Petal and Elva, who is a different player that I'm used to seeing here in their lineup for them, you know, that's a different DPS that I'm not used to seeing. Petal was really putting in the work. I mean, the Reaper is good. The Tracer has been really good as well. The McCree has been fantastic as well. So, I mean, Uprising Academy on paper should win this easily 3-0. I would not be surprised if Obey take a map off of them, because they have not been steamrolled, like I said. They're only on a -7 map differential. This is their last match of trials as well. They have been the only team that has played every single match day. Their bye day is on the last day of trials. And so, I mean, they're 0-5 right now. They want to get that goose egg off. I don't know if they have the fire in the tank right now to do it. But I mean, anything is possible. This is trials. This is you know, Overwatch. Anything can happen. Yeah. And if Moser and Fixa have the games that they've been having, yeah, I mean, Gig and Adam are going to be swinging and zapping with impunity.
Yeah, I think right now Obey Alliance are kind of trying to roll the dungeon dice and hope that Uprising Academy end up finding themselves on a -20, as it were, to coming into this match. But nevertheless, if Uprising Academy come with, I feel like, even half of their power as what they've shown throughout this entire week, Obey Alliance is definitely going to have a fight in front of them. Once again, we're going to be starting off on Busan. Really hoping myself, Billy, that we get to see a little bit of that downtown action, but it looks like we're going to be starting off on Sanctuary once again. That big old drum just got to be part of the action.
You know, and we had a chat with UA's coach the other night, Bullskunk and I did, and what I am used to seeing is Finale in on these control maps. But, you know, it wasn't the fact that Finale is necessarily the control map specialist for the DPS. It's what is their hero pool really deliver to each map, is how they choose what their DPS lineup is going to be. So Stellar and Victoria, their normal starters, you know, once you get past that control map, they are actually starting here on Busan. So either Finale is not available due to ping, or you know, they're just really more comfortable running with Stellar and Victoria starting in the DPS slot right now. Moser has been an absolute demon on the Zenyatta. Paintbrush and Tensa have really kept their teams in a lot of fights that they had no business staying in, and it allowed Joe and Cakefish to really annihilate some of the compositions that they've been facing up against, because it's been so good on the support decision. So Teleporter, get their team out and swap over to a Tracer.
All right, well, let's go ahead and see if that's going to be enough. Elva, we're going to see some Torb on map 1? What? All right, I'm living for this. All right, get the Swedish Burger in here, and let's see if hard work does indeed pay off.
Hard work pays off.
Exactly, and Stellar's already in the back line. I'm not for certain if that's a good place for anybody to be. Adam Ore getting that initial pick, and Stellar following up onto Tenza right there with Ore 2 down, 3 down. Stellar gives a hello, how's your father to Elva. That's going to be a cleanup right here from UA as they go ahead and grab the objective.
We go ahead and say oi there, because that was just clean as a whistle. I mean, the fact that Elva did not really get any value out of that turret, that's why they're bringing the Torbjorn to bears. They're trying to deal with Stellar or the Tracer that they were expecting. That's why the turret is there. They're trying to get that, you know, annoyance factor out of their back line.
Getting a little decoy action coming out here. I like it. Cakefish already halfway up to that self-destruct and might be able to create some space if they can earn it up during this fight. But Ore, Victoria has the Bob getting ready to come online. Valkyrie popped for Fixa to try to bring Stellar back into the fight, and there goes Bob getting into the action, holding the other side of the drum as Gig is just indeed rolling everybody around. But Petal and Cakefish just absolutely decimating everything that's coming out from Uprising Academy. Obey Alliance says, okay, that first attack, it tickled a little bit, but here's how we poke back.
Yeah, I mean, great clapback from them, and look at the ultimates now coming up online for Uprising Academy. Petal, I told you, the McCree has gotten so much better than the last trial cycle. It just so much more lethal, and now that turret is absolutely coming to bear on Stellar. Stellar's really gonna have to watch their pathing.
All right, well, let's see if they can avoid that turret by all means necessary, but that thing do not miss. As the percentage continues to climb, the ORAC UA trying to retake the objective. Pulse Bomb comes in, gets nothing but Immortality Field. And now Adam has their Gravitic Flux online, ready and loaded for Bear. As we see Joe falling incredibly low right now, Gravitic Flux comes in, trying to hold it all together. Is the Jedi trying to see if they can get some picks? We're just going to zone out the team from following up on that Gravitic Flux. And that is going to continue to hold for the side of Obey Alliance as they pass UA's percentage.
Yeah, I mean, just great kiting back. That Deadeye was absolutely massive out of Petal.
Ooh, big slam coming in from Gig to try to create some space, but Elva Ore has that Molten Core ready and online to rip. We see Stellar in the backline falling incredibly low due to that turret. Going to be able to egress into the enemy backline to grab a health pack. But that's not going to be enough to take the point back.
No, I mean, we're rapidly approaching final fight territory here. And I mean, no tank ultimates online for them. So, I mean, looking at what they're coming into, I mean, Bob, that's really it. You've got the mines coming up as well. They're going to have to get this on a neutral fight win.
All right, well, Bob is indeed heading in and trying to do something, actually gets booped into the line of sight, and the cleanup is bad! They try to move out of the way of the minefield, but all they do is move into the bullets of UA. That's going to be lockdown of the objective, but that's overtime ticking away. And now they're going to have to hold it for the next two fights.
That's an oopsie boop right there. Coming out of Tensa. Tensa probably wants to have that one back because they got the full value of the Omnic Butler there. But they have both of their DPS ultimates ready to go. I think that if you wait up for Paintbrush's Amplification Matrix into this next fight, you get maximum value out of the Deadeye. But Stellar, one well-placed Pulse Bomb can absolutely end this for them.
All right, we see Mauser on that high ground as the Deadeye does find Gig to start things off. Pulse Bomb gets nothing but Immortality as the cleanup tries to find some value here as we see them now bullying the backline. Cakefish does find Victoria and Joe, and now as the bomb goes online to try to swap this back into their favor, we see the picks continue to come in. Tenza not afraid to get in Adam's face, and Control is going to flip back over at the 99% mark. Now we're going to see if Obey Alliance can hold this down for now. It looks like Gig might be able to touch. Nah, gets melted down by Paintbrush. But what a close fight here on Sanctuary as Obey Alliance take the lead.
Yep, and they generally do show well on these control maps, Captain Jack. So this is not the problem that they're going to have. The problem is going to be when we go into the hybrids, escorts, and assault maps. That's where they're having a lot of their issues as a team. So, you know, right now, if they can come out to a strong start here, maybe get the win behind their backs, maybe they can really aggress into Uprising Academy and take a surprise and upset win today.
That would be an interesting way to start this off. And based on what we saw last match, I'm up for anything right now. Truly, I'm up for anything to happen. Stellar's going to come out with that Symmetra once again to create some additional space for them to cover without their utility. But it looks like Obey Alliance is looking to get brawly.
Yeah, they want to go McFlurry here, and they want to speed in on top of Uprising Academy. Obey Alliance, bringing out the absolute worst in plays right now, and that's bringing out the May, and May is going to be the linchpin to which everything goes by.
Oh, it looks like Adam's a little bit out of position. Will Eve be the follow? And Gig, though, is just a menace on the Wrecking Ball. Triple kill coming in as they just beep, beep around the objective. Control goes to UA to start things off.
Yeah, they just didn't catch the rotation right. Obey Alliance, they got stalled out. Gig, disrupting them on that Wrecking Ball, doing exactly what they need to do into the comp that they're trying to run. So right now, the focus has got to be onto Gig. Gig has to be their primary source of CC and really, stopping them. So Petal opting now for the Ash, mirroring Victoria.
That is true. We're also seeing Joe and Cakefish on that Wrecking Ball Sigma going for the mirror instead of the rush. Let's see if they can make it work out in their favor. They're going to be behind on that ultimate advantage as we see Victoria able to get back to that health pack just in time. Paintbrush on that high ground with the Amp Matrix, just doling out the damage left, right, and center. But not enough yet to take the objective away from UA as Adam holds this high ground for dear life. But it's going to be too little, too late. Nobody to save Adam this time around as we see the coach gun sending Gig right back to where they came from. And that's going to be a flip over for UA as soon as they clear this objective.
I mean, it's not done yet, and they haven't flipped it yet, and there's a res coming in from Tensa on the Petal, so Petal's going to be able to get back into this fight sweet.
Transcendence coming out from Yowzer. All right, interesting change of pace right there as Stellar comes in, finds one. The cleanup is fast and fierce. They were so close to taking that into their control, and UA just steps in and is like, no.
Nene says, Uprising Academy, that was a beautiful flux out of Adam. They had nothing to defend against because Paintbrush was already back in spot. So, Cakefish now bringing out the Roadhog.
A what? A Roadhog! All right. Yes, some good old hog and ball torture here going on to the objective as the pulse bomb comes in onto Joe. Overtime Wick gonna burn down right now as we see Cakefish just trying to touch the objective, but there's an Omnic Butler waiting for them on point. And they're going to continue to go ahead and feed their way in. Bob able to touch for Petal to be able to keep that time wick a burn-in. But is it going to be enough to be able to flip this point as the res comes in for Cakefish? But no! Nobody was on the point. Cakefish couldn't get there in time to flip it. 100-0 ties it up as UA Academy take the Mecha Base.
That is a total Charlie Niner. I'm sorry. Cakefish could have at least stuck a fat toe on the point and been able to extend this out. However, that does take us to 1-1 here at Busan. We're going to go downtown. This is where you can get a little bit different. This is where you can go with a little bit different compositions here if you so choose. Joe has been very adamant on playing the Orisa in this meta. Cakefish is going to be opting for the Diva variant here, so the ability to flip from high ground to low ground, damage mitigation at a premium right now. Let's see what UA will do to counter it once they see the opposition on the field.
Well, Billy, one day we'll be able to make it to a one day without a Charlie Niner in Contenders Trials, but today is not going to be that day as we go ahead and see them head right on in to downtown. The teleporter allows them to take control of the high ground with Stellar, opting for the Hanzo. This time around, full rotation coming out for the side of Obey Alliance as they end up taking down Gig in the small room. Elva coming back out with the Torb to be able to get that seventh man on the field, and now the rotation into the point just cleans it on up. And Elva looks to chase down that Mercy, paying him with a good old rivet to the face as Obey takes control.
I mean, that was wonderfully measured by Obey Alliance, my friend. I mean, they took the aggression and really bought a lot of time with it. Victoria's putting in a yeoman's work on this Ash, but still the support was not there. And Gig got a little bit over aggressive going into a small, tiny room with lots of CC in their face. They just got deleted off the server.
That's right. The halt and the stun are going to be just enough to be able to shut all this down very quickly. We see Cakefish falling incredibly low, getting chased down as the res comes in On to Stellar, but Moser is now out of the fight due to Petal. So now it's a 5v6 either way. The Bob is on the line, though, trying to feed into the objective. But it looks like they're going to wait it out for their teammate to come back.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what they need to do here. And, I mean, they're just not getting the frag pills into these fights right now. Stellar on this Hanzo not getting really the value that you would expect out of it. There's so much shield, there's so much damage mitigation, they just cannot get an engagement on it.
All right, Amp Matrix coming out for Paintbrush, trying to rotate the rest of the team into the side room, and Gigan. All right. Gig and Bob just go ahead and sit on point saying, hey, how's it going? You want to capture this objective with me? All right. And now the cleanup is coming in fast and furious. Joe does find Adam after the DMAC, but unfortunately it is too little, too late. Those picks are going to be coming in as UA control the board.
Yeah, they have to control the board, but they are going to be very sore put to hold it. I mean, depending on the kind of rotations that we're going to see coming out of Obey Alliance. I mean, they've got both their DPS ultimates ready to go. Supercharger's almost online as well.
Yeah, they just got everything in the bank right now. Even that self-destruct has no shield that they can hide behind. As we see the beat invested from Tenza and that Deadeye and that Molten Core just going ahead and laying waste. Fixa pulling out the Glock, ends up finding Elva, adding one to the board for the Mercy player. Am I right, folks? That's going to go ahead and continue to lock down this objective. All those ultimates and nothing to show for it for UA.
Victoria just...
OA.
Yeah, OA. I mean, Victoria just popped off there. I mean, especially having Fixa as that tether, giving that damage boost, just getting so much value. Got Bob up again into this fight. So they're going to have the staying power now to be able to repel Obey Alliance coming onto the point. No ultimates near really any kind of completion except for Paintbrush. Kickfish trying to slide through and just takes a tree trunk to the face.
That is not a good way to start things off there, and they're still trying to find their way through. Bob gets invested to go fend off the rest of Obey Alliance, and the self-destruct finds the immortality, and now that Omlik Butler is just in free range mode. Paintbrush trying to keep everybody alive, but they can't touch. There's just too much damage coming in. UA walking away with the victory here on Busan after a 2-1 upset on downtown.
You know, I thought that the value of the Hanzo was going to really, be detrimental to what Uprising Academy were doing, but they were using the Sonic Arrow to make sure that they knew the pathing of Obey Alliance coming in. So smart heads-up play from them. I mean, not an unexpected result, a lot closer than I expected it to be. So, Obey Alliance are definitely coming out to play today. As we head to our next map, I mean, they can choose from the hybrid, escort, or assault. So it just depends on where Obey Alliance feels like they can make their best stand. Being down 0-1 here in their final match of May Contenders Trials. And, I root for the underdog all the time. I really want to see them come out and at least take a map off of Uprising Academy. Yeah. I think they can. I mean, they've got the skill. They obviously made it here. And, they've worked their way. They're just doing fine. I just don't think that they have the pushes necessary. I think that maybe a little bit of the problem lies in the main tank department. If you don't have the Winston really in the back pocket, you're going to have some struggles going on because you can't really run Rhine here, as was proven on Mecha Base, and I think that's Joe's favorite main tank, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see, though, what happens in Junkertown, because that's where we're going next. And, Petal has, a really good Hanzo from what I remember, and you're going to be watching out for Victoria. Victoria is the hit scan specialist for Uprising Academy. This is going to be a duo that I'm looking to see, clash heads here on point A and see who can win the long range battle.
Yes, Billy, did you say Junkertown?
Oh, I did.
Oh, God. I try to hold him back, but he always comes out. Junkertown is always a great place to be seeing some action. Those long sight lines, those tight corridors, especially as you get into areas 2 and 3. There's just nothing that holds back the amount of action that we could be seeing coming out. We are going to see swap sides here, though. So Uprising Academy looking to try to end this quick and easy. But based off of what we saw so far, at least on Busan, it looks like Obey Alliance are looking to not let this map be a first point holder.
Moser, I see you in game chat there. I also would like PF Chang's, and if you did not bring enough for the entire class, you're going to have to wait until the end of the series to eat your PF Chang's. My favorite is the Lady Chow Food. So, yeah, I definitely need to have some of that in my life. We don't have it here in Springfield, Missouri. Sad face. But, you know, I mean, looking at what we're going to see from them, I mean, Uprising Academy, you know, they can come out, they can, you know, kind of take it to Obey Alliance. And, I mean, I believe they're going to be on the defense first. So we'll take a look defensively what Uprising Academy are going to bring out the gate. Moser, once again, has been putting on a pretty darn dominant performance on the Zenyatta, having a little bit of a greedy backline sometimes can really work into your favor. And Moser is taking full advantage of that today.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be interesting to see what they end up pulling out here, especially based on what we saw on Busan. I mean, they weren't afraid to pull out the double sniper, which especially on a map like Junkertown is something that you could definitely see utilized pretty easily, especially in this first area where all you have is long sightline after long sightline after long sightline as far as the eye can see. But the question is going to be, how does Obey Alliance answer to that? Is the goal to be cheeky and, you know, pull out maybe a good old pirate ship, you know, send down the 7 seas here on Junkertown? And
you said it. It's so
I mean, I said it. That doesn't mean I expected it. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. We might be getting baited here, but nevertheless, looks like Victoria is the only one that's going to be taking on those long sight lines, with Gig getting in a little bit of that Junkertown vibe, bringing the piggy into the action.
I mean, Pig's Feet doesn't necessarily look bad here. I mean, you've got a shooting blind for your sniper, unless they take a extreme long sight line. Once again, this is a very greedy backline. You're looking for the CC and the Inspire uptime from Fixa. You're looking for the Discord orbs and the right clicks out of Moser. It's all about taking down the pirate ship, which is, in fact, going to come out.
Oh, my Lord. I love it. I love it. I love it. Everybody set sail, because we're getting ready to see this payload start moving. Uprising Academy pulling back. Looks like they were ready and raring to go for it. Elva coming out on the Genji this time around. Going to try to be able to hunt down Victoria and Stellar best they possibly can. But with the space that is being made right now, there's nothing that Petal can do. They hear the hog behind and just get domed by Victoria, and there's no way to be able to turn that around for now. That pirate ship has been sunk. And that is going to be UA taking control at the choke.
Yeah, I mean, Stellar going down there, it really doesn't matter that much because they can get back to the fight so fast. The real answer right now is coming from Moser and Gig. Moser and Gig following up on Discord orbs and right-clicking their way into Oblivion. Elva not being able to really decide which way to look with those deflects. So the answer right now, try and set up again. Try to get that payload moving again.
Yeah, the great thing about it is that they're not out in the open right now, so that they have the ability to be able to possibly set up. But right now, Stellar isn't about to let that happen as easy as one would think. Tenza is going to opt over to the Mercy. Try to see if they can keep their team alive just a little bit longer. Brings Elva back into the fight, and Adam does get found a little bit out of position. Going to be able to get that pick and remove the shield from all the damage that could be coming out from Petal as they rotate along this back line, but they just get melted down along with Tenza. There's just nothing that they can do to be able to push in here. Victoria now moving their way onto the high ground with this infrasight. And that's going to go ahead and be a cleanup right here. The whole hog and nothing but the hog comes out from Gig. Pays with their life, but grabs the value of having the objective right out in the open to keep that set up from happening again. And Tenza, what are you doing?
Tenza's looking out for the Widowmaker.
Oh, of course.
they're hunting
Why? What else would I expect in a Contenders Trials game? Is a Reddit Lucio I'd see in my comp game.
Yeah, winning the fight right now too. So
Yeah, I mean, hey.
And
Caster cursed it again. It strikes and the blade comes out. Fix a fallen low, ends up getting bladed down. And here comes the Transcendence from Moser to hold everybody else together. And now we're seeing the Gravitic Flux coming out as we see Cakefish and Stellar fight it out in the side room. Gonna be eating up that pig. Anybody looking for some barbecue? As they go ahead and melt it down. 60 seconds remain on the clock as Elva now is trying to see if they can match the aggression of Victoria.
Yeah, I mean, swapping over to the Sombra as well. So trying to really take the Discord Orbs off the table, try to take the shielding and or healing of Gig out of the rotation as well. So, I mean, Cakefish, you're a liability with this whole hog. I hope that you have the ability to get the healing resources that you're going to need when you let loose with Q there.
30 seconds.
All right, Elva is searching, looking for anything that they can. Gig in the mega room, trying to find Elva there and will be successful. But where's the rest of the team right now? Petal and Cakefish are just melting the objective despite the picks coming in from Gig. It's too little, too late, and just shy of overtime. Objective Alpha is captured, and Obey Alliance takes to the streets.
That was them getting paid for their moxie and a little bit of overextension and just toying with their dinner. And they paid for it in blood. That's the first objective. Now, there's some ultimates coming up online that really can benefit this push coming from Obey Alliance.
Ooh, having to use the EMP early because Victoria pops the Infrasight. Does find two, but the follow-up just isn't there, unfortunately. Adam does get the trade onto Joe as well, and Cakefish trying to survive and get back to the safety of the team. Gets a pulse bomb to the face as well, but is going to be able to survive for now. Minute 45 on the clock as they get stuck outside the Mega.
I mean, and Gig and Adam both have their ultimates here, so this is going to turn into a sniper battle between Victoria and Elva. Shades of Pine in Overwatch League. Same vantage point for them. And Petal takes down Victoria. That's one hack out of the way.
Don't have to worry about that Widow battle now as we see Stellar trying to hold strong in their own backline. And Cakefish is... What you doing there, Cakefish? All right, you're gonna try to get out of there, but the stuns are there to keep you from healing up the way that you were hoping. Gravitic Flux comes in, but the hack comes in, canceling it out. Moser does make Petal pay for that. That's an ult they're gonna want back of Elva, trying to see if they can turn the tides, but it gets hooked out of the sky. Gig is a hog on edge as they pass the minute mark.
They do pass the minute mark, but Elva has sights available, so they're going to be able to see the pathing coming in from Uprising Academy. Stellar is starting to really crank up the heat as well.
Heat is indeed coming out, and I am sweating bullets right now as Elva just looking for anybody with that Infrasight. Not going to get the value that they were hoping for with everyone dead, but nevertheless, it is going to be interesting to see if those headshots come in. Can't get that hook shot online, unfortunately, and here comes Stellar into the back line, has the pulse bomb ready to stick. Getting ready to find it, hunting now, looking for that valuable target. Cakefish waiting for the accretion so that they can pull that whole hog and nothing but the hog. And there it comes. Cakefish falls incredibly low, though, trying to hold it on, and Stellar finds Joe in the back line, but nevertheless, Paintbrush is able to hold the point together for now with Tenza just pushing forward. Now Elva swapping over to the Soldier 76, getting some legs into the action. The boop comes in, finds Petal, but not going to be able to hold this point as much as they were hoping. Petal falls, immortality invested as the Gravitic Flux comes out from Joe, trying to see if they can clear the point, push those final couple meters, but Victoria on the high ground pops the Deadeye, does the damage that needs to be done, and locks down Objective Bravo.
I mean, yeah. Victoria did that the other day in a match as well and got a 3K out of it. So they have that rotation, that necessary pop of the Q there, kind of as a set play. So win condition set for Uprising Academy, just outside a point B gate. And they're going to go ahead and take a 2-0 lead here in our series. Match day 6 of NA Trials. They're trying to go to 6-0.
That could be the way to go here. You know, UA wants to lock it down right here, right now. But with Obey Alliance being able to grab that first objective, they have some room to work. And I don't know, Billy. Petal coming out without even a pocket against Victoria. Ooh, that one might be rough.
I mean, rough could be the way, but I mean, look, I'm looking for Petal to just create space and create confusion for Uprising Academy. I mean, they have the escapability of the Concussive Blast, so they can get out of the way and just lay in to the shielding of UA. But I think that one shot from either Stellar or Victoria, and you're done. There's the tether that we're looking for.
There we go. The tether action is in, and it looks like we're going to see this pig's feet continuing on as we see Petal in the skies with Tenza trying to continue to create that space. Adam swapping over to that Diva, ends up finding Tenza there on the roof. And it looks like the roof is on fire right now as Victoria and Moser just melt down every member of Obey Alliance they can get their hands on. Gig gives a good old hug to Elva, and that payload moves forward.
Yeah, indeed. And I mean, we're just looking right now for them to get any kind of value out of this. I mean, they tried the close hold with the pharmacy, didn't really lend itself to much hold time there. Petal. Oh no, Stellar, you got to watch your 6 here.
All around the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel. Just waiting for that head to poke on out. But Victoria is sitting here on the flank, getting ready to get chased down by Joe, but staying close enough. Gig does find a paintbrush, though, and actually is in control of the high ground over objective Alpha, and the cleanup is fierce and fast. They were waiting for the little tracer, but they weren't looking for that fat old piggy to be in their back line. And that's 5 minutes for them to push through the streets and not even get to objective Bravo.
And the ultimate rotation is in their favor. Tensa swapping again. There goes Granny. Bye-bye. Back to spawn with you. They're going to have some pretty serious easy push here coming through from them.
Whoa! Look at that shutdown as Elva goes ahead and brings in the blade. Swapping over to that Genji. Ooh. The hook comes in, but able to go ahead and push back. And now we see the ante coming in onto Gig.
Oh,
Not
no.
going to be enough. Oh, man. That's just mean. That's just mean right there. As we see Gig pushing out Elva to get hit with the self-destructive Adam. Just, oh my man.
Lord.
Absolutely rude.
Tensa pulling off the Glock here, trying to stay alive versus Adam. Might actually win this duel. Nope. I lied. Petal just looking. Yeah.
Wow. Man. I'm not 100% certain of what Petal was doing there, other than watching their Mercy burn. But nevertheless, UA walks away with it here on Junkertown, bringing us up 2-0 in our series and giving Obey Alliance one last chance to put up a really good fight here in Contenders Trials and see if they can take a map off the first seed.
I tell you what, I mean, Moser has been putting in the performance on the Zenyatta. We have seen it all trials long. And today is no different. Mm-hmm. Just the game awareness to realize that, they're going to be coming around a certain side and just being able to, half right click and dome any stragglers to the point. They're just go ahead and putting forward their dominance right now. They're going to put a massive or stack on this match right now as we head into map 3. I tell you what, I was expecting a lot more out of Obey Alliance, and it kind of feels like they got stymied, and they just I don't know if the heart's with them right now.
Yeah, I mean, they know that they're at the end of the road, right? Like, there's no way that they're going to be able to make them their way up into Contenders proper. So this is all just for pride right now to see if they can be able to bring it back. But you know what? They get a couple of minutes to try to get their ducks in a row for our second half. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more NA Contenders Trials in a few minutes. welcome back, folks, to the North American Contenders Trials match day 6, where we have got Uprising Academy or Umbrella Alpha going against Obey Alliance or October Alpha, if you'd rather, for all you military folk out there. And right now, Obey Alliance, they kind of hurting, and I feel for them. But I mean, we're going to the place that everybody likes to play. The question is, can Obey Alliance lock down the row and maybe pull a wisp? Maybe they were inspired. If it were to wait, Billy, did you just see what I just saw?
I did not see what you.
Oh, okay. I was about ready to say. I thought I saw Cakefish swap to the DPS. I was like, wait, whoa.
No, we're seeing Joe, aka Jaru, swap to the DPS and Pedal going tank.
Geez.
So maybe a little bit is afoot here. We will see. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we're not done yet. So it looks like we're going to see Elva move on to the tank with Cakefish, and Joe and Pedal take on that DPS line. So,
oh boy. Both the tanks are now in the DPS slots, and the DPS are in the tank slots. So the game is afoot here in match day 6. This should be interesting to see how they perform. Obviously, players at this level are able to flex across roles and such, so we shall just see them having a little bit of fun here on their last day of competition. Obey Alliance decided just to go ahead and throw out caution to the wind, just have some fun here on King's Row, and this should be at least pretty quick and painless for them to go out if they do decide to stay the way they are. Otherwise, we may be seeing the emergence of the Elva Pedal tank line for Obey Alliance, and it could be all to play for.
Yeah, that's going to be the interesting part of this, is that if for some reason they end up playing each other's roles better, I'm going to start wondering why they were on those roles in the first place. The whole entire Contenders Trials season, as it were. So gonna be interesting. They're coming out on this double. Well, they're flipping all around, but the Sigma Ball comp is ready and waiting there for UA, and they're not looking to let anything get past them.
Yeah, Rock and Roll versus Ryan Zarya. I mean, it's gonna be brawly. It's gonna be interesting to see, and we'll see what Joe and Cakefish can get done on the DPS department.
Yeah, I especially like Joe coming in on that Sombra. Not going to be able to zone out as well as we see with the May when they come up with the McFlurry, but nevertheless, Gig coming in with a big old slam, just bowling on in. Immortality Field already having to be utilized as Stellar does find Paintbrush outside of that objective. Joe is able to get the follow-up onto Moser, though, so that's some healing out of it, and going to take a little time to get that Omnic back in the fight. But Gig almost getting ready to fall down themselves as the picks kind of get staggered here for either side.
I mean, I don't think they were expecting this, to be honest. And they might have gotten caught a little bit unawares by this. Victoria's starting to clean up, though, but they're still playing very split. There's the recall for Health. I mean, Health has got to be careful. Victoria getting a 4K into that fight, and Moser goes down again.
Victoria popping off victoriously right now, getting their own Nickelodeon show while they're at it as they go ahead and clean up that objective. Already a minute 15 off the clock as Cakefish opting for the Hanzo this time.
I mean, you seriously pulled a early 2000s Nickelodeon reference into this cast, and I'm living for it. It was one of my kids' favorite shows. But Victoria's still doing Victoria things and just getting a lot of value into this right now. Bob should be up shortly. Almost half their time off. Looking at Ultimates coming up online for Uprising Academy. There's the Pulse Bomb out.
Yeah, I don't think anyone gave Elva the memo about how the Rhine charge works, and that you should probably unbind it, because that was not the direction that they were looking for. And right now, I think Obey Alliance, they're just having a good old time. Cakefish trying to earn up to something. The Dragon Strike is few and far between because Gig just keeps obliterating them in the backline.
I mean, Captain Jack, his aim is still better than mine.
I feel that in my soul, Billy.
Oh, but EMP is available. Oh, looking elbow coming out on the Winston.
Ooh, EMP, it does find one, but Moser has that Transcendence online if need be, but if I feel bad because it doesn't even seem like they're worried. they don't even worry about popping a paintbrush falling low and it's just gonna get melted down. And honestly, I'm kind of sad that the supports didn't get a chance to flex on their roles too.
I know Tenza paintbrush got left out.
Aww.
So,
well, I mean, Tenza's been in the back line this whole time anyway, so I guess.
Is it really a flex if they don't play the roles the way they usually do anyways? I mean, looking at Petal has Graviton Surge available to them, so this could actually get something out of it.
Ooh, that's a fat grab up there, and Alpha finding a big old slam. That's two. Pulse Bomb tries to find something as Moser pops the Transcendence. That might be enough to turn the tides. We see the Gravitic Flux come out. That's a good old cleanup. Tenza and Paintbrush, you know, just doing what support duos do. Just hanging out in the side room and trying to stay alive. Or not.
They're just trying to do it. They're having fun, and I just roll with it. As I say, Tenza does have sound barrier, so keep themselves up for a little while. 10 seconds to go.
All right, well, last fight territory, here we come, looking to see if they can turn this into their favor, but somebody's got to touch that objective to trigger overtime. There comes the sound barrier, exactly what they need, and I gotta be honest with you, if they get one tick, I'll be impressed. We do see the res come in as Elva takes down Moser in the back line, trades it out with Gig and Tenza between the sides, and the Bob is invested on the objective. Victoria is still landing shot after shot. There's just nothing, no way, no how that they can do to be able to touch this objective, and Paintbrush is just gonna cower near the bushes as the bullets fly by, and the point gets untouched.
Yep, 0% capture there. Not anything unexpected going into that. So now it should just be a quick and easy push coming out of Uprising Academy. They'll take the 3-0 victory. They'll go to 5-0 here in our trials and secure themselves probably the top seed throughout. And I mean, that's going to weigh really well into their, Contenders proper seeding. If they do come out first place out of trials, they will take the number 5 seed into Contenders proper. And that puts them into a much more winnable scenario going up against the Contenders teams. And I mean, North America Contenders needs to be looking out for the teams that are coming out of trials because they have been battle tested this season. Uprising Academy kind of getting a little bit of a cakewalk through their time. They are just absolutely firing on all cylinders and putting out a very professionals job into it, not taking any slack into it, not taking any kind of shortcuts here. They come to play, they came to win. They're going to get their job done and take their win here. They might be playing a little bit of fun characters themselves on the DPS front, even though Stellar does have a fantastic echo.
All right, the countdown begins as they get ready to head into their final fight. Obey Alliance have fought so hard. Now it's time to have some good old fun. As we see the double shield coming out with the McFlurry. This actually could be a really relatively good composition as long as they work together. And Gig is Gig's just walking around, not even worried. Might get popsicled up here. Does get chased down. Paintbrush will get that elim right there. But with 30 seconds already off the clock, I don't think UA is worried. Adam, come on. You saw that, Billy.
I saw it.
Just slapping the crap out of Cakefish right there as the hamster. That's just mean. All right? They didn't do anything to you, but they are going to end the pain rather quickly, or at least try to. Alpha will go ahead and tickle the point, maybe just a little bit longer. The rest of the team just tickle in the objective, trying to keep it a little bit longer. But the fight is done. They can rest because Uprising Academy walks away with the 3-0 in our series.
Yeah, but that was just that was all done and dusted before we ever actually got into the map. Victoria popped off, obviously having a good performance here on the Ash, getting lots of value into the character, and I mean, like I said, this was just done before it ever really got started here on Kings Road, having a little bit of fun, and you love to see it, and I'd love to see the match chat and see them laughing at each other, but you know, as it is, 5-0, good to go here from them. Everybody leaving the lobby. I didn't see any funniness going on in there either. So everybody just said GG's workman's performance coming out of Uprising Academy. And, you know, it's going to set us up for our interview. And I'm really excited to see who that's going to be.
Absolutely. So don't go anywhere. We've got a little bit more Contenders Trials action for y'all here in a few minutes as we get a representative from Uprising Academy to join us about their victory. Welcome back, everyone, and we have got the Wrecking Ball Specialist of Uprising Academy with us, Gig, coming in to do a little bit of interview action here. Gig, I mean, we're just going to be honest. This was an easy day for you all, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we're prepared like they were going to give it their all, but we expect teams to give it their all, but, it is what it is, and then regardless, we get the dub, so let's look on to the next match.
I mean, definitely, Busan was, they were definitely putting up a fight, and that was really interesting, and then kind of afterwards, they're like, all right, we poked the bear. we're gonna head on out. I'm gonna head on out here. You have a good one. So, nevertheless, we're gonna start moving from your match and start focusing more on the future, because obviously Uprising Academy locked in for Contenders proper, and there are 3 teams awaiting for you. Rip Revival. We got Odyssey, American Tornado, and Dark Mode, all waiting up there in proper. Is there any of those teams that y'all at UA are kind of worried about as you head into proper in the coming months?
We're not worried about anyone. We're more excited to face the teams.
All right, I'll take that.
Excited. All of our players, we've been there, done that. It's not like what's it called? Contenders is a scary thing at all for us. So just gotta do what we do and then get some dubs.
I got to ask you a question. Your synergy with Adam, while new, is looking very clean. What is it like working with with Adam? The off-tank specialist has just absolutely been putting up some serious numbers here in trials and going forward in Contenders. I'm really, my mouth is salivating for the American Tornado versus Uprising Academy match. I think that's going to be an absolute field burn.
It should be fun. Yeah, playing with I love playing with good players, and Adam's a great player, so it's rather easy. He's a good guy as well, so can't complain. Only good times.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't really have much more to say here, Billy. I mean, the match kind of speaks for itself, and it seems like these folks are just ready to get on up to Contenders. Unfortunately, we can't push the timeline forward for you so that we can see that amazing action today. So you're just gonna have to chomp at the bit a little bit longer. But Gig, thank you so much for joining us. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out? Anything else you'd like to talk about before we send you back to your team for some well-deserved rest and relaxation?
Just obviously gotta thank my team. They're the homies, some sexy gentlemen, and thank the coaching staff. Also handsome, very handsome men. So, can't go wrong.
Love it. I love it.
Oh, well, a lot of beautiful people over there at Uprising Academy, it seems. So
thank you. Handsome team for sure.
Wonderful. Love to see it. Thank you so much for joining us, Gig. And thank you all at home for joining us here at North American Contenders Trials. Billy, there's one day left.
Have a good one.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. I mean, we got one day left. Match day 7 is tomorrow. We will start out in EU. You'll see my beautiful face there tomorrow with Bull Skunk as we take the last day of EU Contenders. And we've got some bangers on the match. I can tell you guys right now that you guys are going to have a nice surprise tomorrow. I'm not going to go ahead and lay it out there. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of tease you with that. Give you a little bit of secrecy, a little sneaky snake. But I mean, it's been, like I said, this has been an incredible season of Contenders Trials here in North America. It has been so balanced. It has been so competitive. And tomorrow, we're going to have the end of the NA Trials as well. So, I mean, it's all to play for tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last chance for these teams to secure their spot into Contenders proper for the month of June. And man, I cannot wait to get on the call tomorrow for EU and watch from afar for the NA Trials.
That's absolutely true. And we have obviously our lock-ins right now. We have Uprising Academy, we have Ardor, Wisp, Aspen, SMC, and Malice. They're all in the mix right now, looking to see if they can kind of one to edge out the other to be able to get at very least into that 4th spot right there. So I know I am going to be watching, and you all should be watching too. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, absolutely free here on YouTube, and lets us know you love us. You can also ding that bell right next to it, lets you get notified every time that we're online. So I know that we're going to be taking kind of a hiatus after tomorrow, give it up to the big dogs, Contenders, for a couple months, but then we'll be back in OD, and as soon as we are, we'll be dinging that bell, letting you know that we are here. Want to give a special thank you to MI, Blizzard, and Juke for producing our match today, working through all the technical issues that we were dealing with, and Ocean starting out with us today. We greatly appreciate you being here. Sorry that you had some issues that took you away, but we were glad to have you here for as long as we did. Billy, anything else you got to say before we go ahead and close out for the evening?
Day 7's going to be a burner. That's all I got to say. It's going to be a burner.
Oh, I've got my air condition cranked to max because I'm going to be sweating tomorrow. So I hope that you are here for all the EU and NA action that we can bring. That's it for us tonight at Contenders Trials, and we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Bye, guys. Love y'all.